garage sale. On the website, there are posted pickup times or ways to schedule an alternate pickup time if for some reason those do not work over the next 3 weeks. I think we're going to add one or two more as well somewhere along the way to try to get those items to you. If you didn't see it on the website, you should have received an email. If you've paid, if you haven't paid, this is a pretty good reminder that there's a few of you trying to freeload. No, it's not that. I'm sure that you'll get to it. But as a reminder to settle up in your invoice, that way we can get everything scheduled. If you had an individual experience, so come to Kelly's with me, you're going to disc golf with Mac, golf with the producers, you should either have or very shortly be receiving an email with the details on how to book and receive those experiences. That way we can have a good time out there for you as well. Again, we're very thankful for everyone who did it. We spent all morning organizing the items.
Yep, first pickup is Tuesday.
Good reminder of all the different things that we had brought in. I've already had people volunteer items for next year, which I very much appreciate. You know, because we actually did a decent job clearing out the office this year, thankfully. Finally, Gold. It was starting to look bad. I think we were kind of a black eye in the station for our office cleanliness.
Yeah, so it is obviously awesome to see the support. Once again, thank you guys for the garage sale. Tuesday at 2 o'clock, first pickup time for those of you with items, so appreciate that. All right, let's talk a little Royals baseball to start, then we'll get into Patrick Mahomes and looking at his track record of surrounding wide receivers, supporting cast compared to some of the other quarterbacks in the NFL. And then we'll talk a little bit about FanFest. I was out there yesterday. But when you look at the Royals and you look ahead to the future a little bit, what pieces, now that you've seen the emergence even more of Jack Caglione, what pieces are you most confident about for the Royals in the future, though? And do you believe there's enough still to build around? Because we all know the individuals that have not performed up to par this year. We all know about the injuries and everything else. But do you feel confident in core pieces still heading into the future?
I guess so. One of the biggest swing guys, I think, for a lot of people probably is Vinny Pasquantino, who's still a relatively young player, maybe not, as young. Look, let's be honest. I'm all the way locked into Cags. 2 more hits yesterday. Like I needed any more reason to buy into him as a long-term piece. And we had to answer that question this year. And it's June 12th, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good. So I'm good on Cags. I'm good on Carter Jensen, especially for the catching position. I think you're getting more than enough production out of him. I'm still good on Vinny, Garcia, and Bobby Witt Jr. It's like, as I start going through the roster, I think this maybe is what frustrated me and why I brought this question up, Gold, is I'm starting to feel like I like a lot of the core part of the offense. The question I have, I think more of the questions I have are, what are the relievers I trust for the long-term answers for the Royals? And what are the starting pitchers I trust for the long-term answers for the Royals? And the relievers, I got nothing. Unless it's Daniel Lynch, there is no one I'm willing to just lock in, okay? So, and now look, in fairness, relievers change pretty regularly, so I can live my life and don't have to stress about that too much. From the starting pitching end, the core of their rotation is still Lugo and Waka, who are only going to be here a couple more years. Reagans, who can't stay healthy. I'm no confidence in the future of that. And then it's, do you trust Lewinter Avila, who's going to pitch tonight, and Noah Cameron, who has locked back in? And the answer is incomplete. If you made me sign on board right now, I'm comfortable with Avila and Cameron moving forward. I'm pretty comfortable with Cameron, but I don't want to 100% lock it in yet. And I am completely unknown on Avila, despite the fact I think he has great stuff, about whether or not that stuff is good enough to be a long-term starter for the team. And so the pitching staff is where I have a problem. If you make me lock in the core for the Royals offense, I'm fine. I'm pretty happy with a huge chunk of what they got. The rest feel like filler pieces around the guys I already know are good.
Yeah, but that's been the problem, though, right?
I know.
Is finding the other pieces, whether it's center field, whether it's left field, for example. I still think second base is a question mark. I understand Michael Massey's having a very nice season, but I think understandably so. Everybody wants to see, can he make it through the season healthy? I mean, that's just the reality of, unfortunately, where his career has been. I think it's no secret. But so far, when he's on the field, he's been very effective. So I think second base long-term is still a question mark. Center field, left field, just about everything in the bullpen. Let's be real, because even if you say, I trust Daniel Lynch, well, there's a chance he gets traded.
If they tore that whole thing down, I'll live my life.
The bullpen is easy. Look, the bullpen can swing much quicker than any other area on your club year to year, I think. We've talked about that before. So unless you have some young dominant closer, which the Royals do not presently. So that's an area that year to year you can rebuild. It can also fall apart on you pretty quick. Look what's happened to the bullpen this year. It was just a year ago they had the saves leader in baseball, and now we don't know who the closer is. They don't have one is the answer. So that can change. The core group, obviously Bobby, obviously Michael Garcia. I think Cags is definitely showing that. Carter Jensen. Vinny right now is starting to play much, much better. I still just wonder about his
2 months.
I still just wonder about him long term, only because of the years of control. There's not that many left, and the slow starts consistently to a season. And why does that happen? But what he's done in the last, I think we're now up to really the last 3.5, 4 weeks. He's looked more like himself.
Yeah, I still think that it could be, and he's not going to use this as an excuse, and he never has to me. I'm not.
But don't you agree though? At some point, if we agree that the core is fine, but they're having problems finding the ancillary pieces, or are they maximizing the core? Well, what does that say? Does that say? Do you have? I mean, honestly, is that the hitting development? Is it not fully maximizing? Is it evaluating talent in the minors and developing front office? Is it managerial? Is it? The answer is it's all of the above. But if we're saying that we think they have the 3 to 4 pieces already, maybe 5 intact, but what's
going on with the rest? Yeah,
that goes on where? That goes on management at a certain point, right? Absolutely has to.
And look, in fairness, it's like Michael Massey's having a good year, Kyle Isbell's having an okay year, right?
But how can you say center field's a question mark? Isbell's been playing his ass off. Yeah. So one, he's hurt right now. He's gonna be out maybe for the rest of the season. But also, for center field, for him, he's got better
on base percentage.
Yeah, we're not talking about a great bat in center field. He's a great defender, and he's coming off a career year. But a career year for him is you're happy with what you're just getting in center field. I think there's more there that you can find somewhere.
Yeah, I think that is it okay if everything else is working? Yes. Do you need to strive for better because everything else is not working? Yes. I don't see any reason to not think that that's not the case. The problem is, Gold, is that in a lot of ways, no one is the solid major leaguers are a little bit harder to come by. So far this year, Isbell's been that, or Massey's been that. And even at times, Nick Lofton. But there's also times when they've been non-existent. And then the rest is Collins and Lane Thomas, and it's been okay. And combined, and again, the big part of their offensive problems early were that 2 of the guys who normally they've counted on weren't any good. And that doesn't get you anywhere. But I guess some of it is, I don't think Salvador Perez is going to play forever anyway. And when I start looking at the younger players, it's nice to see Carter Jensen play well and Jack Caglione play great. Jack Caglione's taken a huge development.
Look at his numbers, and the only person you can compare him to on the team right now is Bobby Witt Jr.
He's second in on-base percentage, batting average. He had 2 more hits yesterday. He's got a 351 on-base percentage. He's hitting 280.
Yeah, he's figured it out.
Cags is all the way locked in, at least at the moment. I'm not saying he won't ever struggle ever again, but he's way locked in. But at least Vinny's up to hitting 220 again. Salvi's still hitting under the Mendoza line. He's hitting 197.
Yeah.
So, they still need some help in some areas. I'm not even pretending that. But a lot of it is when, let's say, a year from now, I don't know, maybe one more season after this with Salvi, hard to say with a contract, but it's when they make the transition to Carter Jensen, I'm comfortable. The difference will be they won't be running out 2-3 catchers in their starting lineup every day because most teams don't, which means in the meantime, they got to develop a DH of quality or a rotational bat that can play some DH of quality at first, right, left, something like that. And so, I'm not trying to pretend like it's all.
No,
they lost another series last night.
We're talking future, not present.
Yeah,
present, they're 28-41, and they for 2 days in a row they lost 2 winnable games. Again, they can't figure out.
They play a lot of games that feel very similar.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same pattern. We talked about all year, and we don't have to revisit the conversation about what do they need to do to get you to quote unquote buy back in from a real competitive standpoint. And this is why, I've been hesitant and you've been hesitant where, they can take a series or 2 in a row, but all it takes now they've lost a couple in a row. And so you're like, well, that's normally not a problem if you don't dig yourself a hole. The problem is they dug themselves a hole. And so they're right back to being, 12, 13 games under 500.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's they had a winnable series and 2 winnable games and they lost the series. You're like, damn. I mean, it's been the story. Because that again goes back to it. I do not watch. You and I have watched enough bad teams, really bad. Royals teams, really bad. Chiefs teams, really bad. Whatever teams. Gold. I know a bad team when I see one, as in one that Ken Harvey gets rolled up in the tarp or someone gets plunked in the back. Like I know a really bad team when I see one. This team frustrates me because the sheer amount of winnable games this year they've lost is like, could you have just gone slightly better in those? I'm not even asking for the world. Could you picked up 4 more of those, 5 more of those, then you'd be kind of in it.
And I'll ask again, then who is that on?
I think it's on a bad bullpen in Q, I guess, right? Or hitting in pressure moments because they're terrible with runners in scoring position. Their key bats, it's a lot of things is the problem.
Yeah.
They've blown some of the bullpen. They've blown some because their middle of the order bats are awful hitting with runners in scoring position. They've made some questionable late game decisions by that. And then it all goes to the top of how did you put yourself in this position? What's so weird is it feels like one stat seemingly is the moniker of at least make the playoffs or not, which is 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they made the playoffs, they were awesome with runners in scoring position. Some of the best in Major League Baseball. Last year, we're not good until they were, and then they made a push for the playoffs, but still came up short. Still ended up finishing not particularly good. Again, this year, awful, not a playoff team. You got to hit in key spots, and whether or not this team is ever going to lock that in seems
unknown, but I still think, I agree with you if you want to say there's talent on the team. Of course there's talent on the team, but at some point you are what you record. To me, they're still a bad baseball team. I know people get upset when you say it, but they are a bad baseball team still.
I guess by bad, I mean, I'm not, the record. I just meant
of course they have talent, Cody. That's why it's so frustrated. And they got a guy that's the MVP candidate, and we've talked about this, but we're about to be in the middle of June, and you're in 28-41. That's not like that's not just a bunch of bad luck. Like no, they're not a good baseball team this year. They're not.
They have problems.
They have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. Their offense still, I haven't checked the updated number. I want to say it's still bottom 5 or bottom 6 in all of baseball. And then maybe it's up from being third worst. And the rotation, while it's been very good at times, we all know the injuries have really got them here as of late. And so that's a bad baseball team. If I'm sitting here telling you a bottom 5 offense and the worst bullpen or one of the worst bullpens in baseball, that almost by definition makes you a bad baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I guess my argument was, maybe phrase it different. Maybe it's not a talentless team. I've watched teams with no talent.
No, they have talent. That's why this year is so frustrating.
Bad or so bad, but it's just I understand the point of it, and I'm not saying they're 13 games under 500. I can't apologize for that, and I don't know why I would, honestly. And so that portion of it is just frustrating. Let's coming up at 11 o'clock, we are going to talk to Matt Verderam over at Sports Illustrated and have a conversation with him about the Chiefs. I was thinking about the comparisons that constantly happen between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, and part of it is because you'd mentioned the back half of the career stuff. And then I was trying to decide who had the better set of weapons in the early part of their career between Tom Brady and, of course, Patrick Mahomes. We know Patrick Mahomes he had several years of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce at their peak. That's when things were humming. Since then, I would argue the weapons at the high end are pretty mediocre and at the low end start to settle into bleak. If you go back through the early part of Tom Brady's career, I will say the early part probably favors Patrick Mahomes. Because if you start saying, Troy Brown and Deion Branch, and some of these guys were good players, those first few years, I would say, now look, I don't want to even get into the defense part. Patrick Mahomes had the better weapons. But the second you start hitting this stage of the career, 27, 28, 29, it was Brady. Because by then he had elite tight end situations and good wide receiver situations. And by, into his 30s, they started bringing in Randy Moss and had the pair of, probably the most dynamic tight end duo of all time. So I was starting to think about it from the perspective of Tom Brady probably won with less weapons early, but a significantly more dominant defense during that run. But if anything, I feel like the Tom Brady thing taught me is Tom Brady got weapons after that. So maybe this is the time to start loading up moving forward. This year, obviously, it is what it is. But in the future years, you'd mentioned the offseason wide receiver trade, I think it favors Tom Brady he had less weapons maybe to work with in the early going.
He did, but he also it goes back to the defense argument. If we're getting into that whole conversation and how he was able to get it done, go back and look at some of the top tier defenses.
He also put up big numbers when he had those, he's putting up 3,600 yards Gold or whatever. Those list of weapons we're bringing up, they come with fine, but he also had a better running game. Corey Dillon had 1,600 rushing yards one year was with him when I was going through this. Like it's not to say that they had a better running game the entire time, which should be, I think.
Well, that's what they're going
included
for.
in the weapon category.
That's what they're going for, though. They're hoping that, and while they're late to the party, they're hoping that Kenneth Walker, not that he's going to be a 1,600-yard back, but that Kenneth Walker
cool.
is
I
going
think it should be 1,500-yard all-purpose yards.
Yeah. You know, that Kenneth Walker can provide some explosiveness in this offense moving forward. And, yeah, in 27 and 28, I think they're going to have to commit far more resources, not just to the offense, because they've actually committed resource to the offense, been on the offensive line. Have they finally figured out offensive line enough that we're going to see over the next 2 years a true dedication to wide receiver resources? And I know they would push back and say, hey, we spent a first-round pick on Xavier Worthy. We now went out and spent $15 million almost a year on a running back, and that is true. But after this year, I think they're going to have to either spend premium draft capital on a wide receiver again, and if not, they're going to have to go trade for one because the free agent market doesn't look great.
30 is when it all changed for him. He had years, Gold, where Rasheed Caldwell was his leading receiver, where David Givens was his leading receiver in his 20s. But if I go back and look at Patrick Mahomes' career, we're going to laugh at a few of those too. Not the Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce years, but we're going to look back and laugh at they went into the season with Tony and Sky Moore as their 1 and 2. We're going to look back and laugh a little bit. Starting at age 30, that's when it all changed for Tom. Because at 29, he got Wes Welker. And at 30, he got Wes Welker and Randy Moss. And then after that, he got Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. And weird, this is going to surprise you, that was right when Tom Brady started winning MVPs, winning huge things. Like, I think, Drew, you had asked, maybe it was like a year ago when we had talked, would you rather have a great offensive line or great weapons? And because because I think we had gotten into I thought maybe you'd said offensive line at that time, but now I don't remember.
No, it's always weapons.
Like, this is what it comes down to, weapons. I want people who can catch the football. And some of this is about the future conversation, but also Patrick Mahomes has accomplished as much as Tom Brady in their 30s. So, like, I'm not worried about
it. Yeah, to this point of his career, he has. I just think, to what you were asking Drew about with the weapons part, look, they have spent for years now resources on the offensive line, and they have whiffed at times, to say the least, on the left tackle position. I think they finally have their left tackle of the future in Josh Simmons, and so hopefully now, and this is why none of us wanted them to draft an offensive tackle in the first round this year. Remember, they didn't even draft a single one when it was all that smokescreen stuff, is take advantage of an offseason or two of not having to spend premium resources, whether it's draft or cash, on offensive line. And so, yeah, I know we have a question with Jalen Moore at right tackle, what your thoughts are on him, and he's only got a year left on his contract. But they're in a position, hopefully now moving forward, they can take a couple years off of spending premium resources. I'm not saying you can't draft an offensive lineman, but spending premium resources and use those then on the offensive side. You just spend a whole draft on premium defensive resources or defensive positions. So why not in the next couple years? I think we'll see a switch, Cody, where they start spending it more on wide receiver. They're going to have to. I mean, even take the Rashee Rice part of it out. I mean,
I want a star. I want their Jamar Chase. I want that kind of receiver.
I'm not even, of course. Like, that's no kidding.
A.J. Brown.
I'm just saying, spend the resources, and just from the numbers perspective, they're going to have to at the wide receiver position. Obviously, I would love for them to find a Justin Jefferson, but the reason why we all say I would love them to find a Justin Jefferson is because there's only a couple. Actually, there's only one.
I will say, there's like 7 wide receivers, though, that I'd be like, yes. 7 to 8 that I'd be like, yes, that at least that level.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, at least.
No, I also would like one of those.
I understand the difficulty in it, but they're not even, in my opinion, it's not that they're not trying. They're definitely trying. They've spent a second-round pick on Rashee Rice, a first-round pick on Xavier Worthy. They traded a third for Tony. I'm not saying they're making no effort at it. I'm saying they could go full court press moving forward.
No, and I think there's a real chance starting next offseason. We see whether it's trade or however, real commitment to the wide receiver position again.
It is interesting looking back at some of the draft history. The Patriots weren't even drafting those guys. That was like trade for Wes Welker, or outside of Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. I think post 2000
trade Randy Moss too. Yeah,
post 2006. I'm looking. I think they took maybe 3 running back, tight end, wide receivers combined in the first 2 rounds of any draft post 2006.
But they found some guys.
But they didn't though. Like, if you look at the wide receivers that they drafted,
like trade market.
Sorry, they did everything through trade. Where the Chiefs have already dedicated more in terms of just the last couple of years to Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. It almost feels like they've done more than the Patriots have in the draft side of things. But it hasn't clicked in the same way that the Patriots couldn't really find anything. But the dedication to resources early in those drafts wasn't wasn't as high, but they made it work with the trades.
Yeah, and this is, I think, Bink's argument, and Bink talking about throwing darts at the wide receiver position. I think next offseason they're better positioned to do that, and that is eventually, do you get lucky too? Amon-Ra St. Brown, you mentioned him, he was a 4th-round pick. Puka, of course, a 5th-round pick. Like, you got to get very lucky for those to pan out, but, if you throw enough darts at the board, do you eventually hit? Yes, to get the Justin Jeffersons and Jamar Chases, you got to be drafting in the top 10.
Jamar Chase was picked, 20th?
20th?
Was he
20?
No, I'm sorry. Justin Jefferson was.
Justin
Jefferson
but
was
we all
Jamar Chase was taken in the top
Jamar Chase was 5th. Yes, I'm sorry. I meant Justin Jefferson.
But if we think, and look, you can whiff on those guys too, because Marvin Harrison Jr. was a top 5 pick or whatever, top 10 pick, and he hasn't done anything yet. Next year, everybody's talking about Jeremiah Smith. I think we all recognize you got to be picking top 5 or top 10 to get him. So some of it is like you're just not going to get that. You're going to have to be the team that gets lucky on a guy later on in the draft, unless you are trading for a known commodity.
Here's some of the leading receivers last year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he was taken in the teens.
Yep.
Right?
I think so.
Closer to the later teens, but in the teens. Puka Nacua, he was a later round pick. George Pickens was a 2nd-round pick. Jamar Chase was a top 5 pick, I think, or top 10 at the very least.
5. It was 5.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, again, got lucky. Yeah. Zay Flowers, Nico Collins, but we don't consider those top guys. Justin Jefferson
22nd
was a 1st-round
overall.
pick. Courtland Sutton, 1st-round pick. Ted McMillan had 1,000 yards. He was in the top 20 last year, 1st-round pick. I mean, like A.J. Brown. Most of these guys are taken. Like, it's a mix. There's always a mix.
That's why people wanted them to maybe take a wide receiver this year when they had the 9th overall pick. They, of course, chose to go defense, and that was their thought. We all know if Carnell Tate would have been there.
I think they were serious about
Carnell.
Carnell.
If Carnell Tate was there at 6, I think there's a chance they would have traded up for him too. We'll never really know.
It's the only reason I'm hoping the Kyler Murray experience fails in Minnesota. If that fails and everybody gets fired, maybe
it already sounds like it's not off to a good start. But
really,
yes.
Oh, see, I think it's going to work pretty well for Kyler Murray.
What's no good?
Well, the other day, I think his first 2 passes in OTAs were picked off, and then he also was
Mahomes. We all remember that Mahomes had a bunch of interceptions.
There was an entire ESPN article.
He also was, I believe, complaining about the lack of consistent reps. I think he basically inferred, I don't want to be splitting snaps with this guy. You need to let me. You need to let me get all the snaps.
They shouldn't be wasting snaps with J.J. McCarthy.
I believe they're still doing that. I think that's where things aren't off to maybe the greatest start regarding Kyler Murray.
I don't know.
Right
I mean, if one of you has a strong stance that it won't work, then we can make a bet on it. I think Kyler Murray.
I just don't know.
I think Kyler Murray's going to have a very good year in Minnesota this
season. That's what we think, but I honestly have no clue.
Yeah.
I think we all think it should. By the way, to your point, Gold, on sometimes it doesn't work out. Xavier Worthy was technically taken in a higher pick than Justin Jefferson was. Justin Jefferson was 22nd. Xavier Worthy was taken at 21st, at 21.
Yeah. And I'm not ready to, in fairness now, I'm not saying he's ever going to turn into that, but I'm not ready to say it hasn't worked out for Worthy yet. This is the make or break year, but I am not ready to say that the pick didn't work out on Worthy. I think it's too early. I know some people are, but I want to see year 3. I want to see a fully healthy, assuming he can stay healthy, fully healthy Xavier Worthy with an offense that hopefully is revamped a little bit. Let's see what he can do. But admittedly, if at the end of the season, if he ends up only having 500 yards, well then yes, the dream is dead and he's just a guy. But I still have faith that there's another level there for Xavier Worthy, and hopefully we see it this year.
When we come back, you can tell us about your World Cup experience?
Yeah, let's talk a little World Cup. I was at FanFest yesterday. I'll tell you some things, maybe some tips for those that are trying to hang out tonight or tomorrow at FanFest with the USA game happening tonight. And, of course, a busy weekend ahead. We'll also talk about Texas Tech, who just doesn't get it, I don't think, at this point in time. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you. not the government.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
Trained to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Maybe you're smelling upset. Currently, Tunisia is trading at just 16% probability to best the Netherlands. You know, a local match if you're looking for that. Meaning, a $100 trade could net you $667 in profit. That's, of course, if they win the match. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and probability changes, so you can buy in and out of your position. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ for those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code PLAN to borrow up to $10,000.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Looking for the perfect Father's Day gift? Right now at Peter's Clothiers, save 30% on select Johnny O styles. Premium comfort, timeless style, and savings Dad will love. Stop by Peter's Clothiers today at 124th and State Line Road.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
Here's a World Soccer Championship recap.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Mexico gained an early edge in Group A with a dominant 2-0 win over South Africa in an unusual match featuring 3 red cards. Mexico scored 9 minutes in and never looked back, overwhelming their opponent with a 16-3 edge in shots. I'm Mike Conti.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Is this to get us into World Cup talk?
This is because at 6:20 this morning, there's a Twitter account that posted that across the street from them, there's an Airbnb.
In Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts. There's an Airbnb. And Scottish national team fans moved into the Airbnb overnight, and then they woke up at 6:30 and started playing bagpipes.
the bagpipes?
Now, that would be annoying every morning for the next month. Is going to drive you crazy.
I lived next door to someone
every
for
morning.
2 years. Would play bagpipes shirtless by his front door every once in a while. 2 years.
What time, though, in the day? There's a difference.
All times a day.
In the middle of the afternoon, whatever. At 6:20 in the morning every day would be awful.
I have almost never had any issue with any neighbor I've ever been in. That guy sucked. He was clearly just some like rich daddy's kid whose dad owned the duplex he was living in. He would then try to park in our driveway. I'd bang on his door at 4 in the morning, say, "Move your car. I have to leave." I'd be like, driving courier work, and he'd play shirtless bagpipes. That guy sucked. He probably also went through 6 pounds of weed a week based on the amount he was smoking. It was nuts. But
Some of the World Cup stories, though, have been fun already that we've seen. And yesterday was day one of Fan Fest because it was day one of the World Cup. I know we don't have a match here until next week, and we'll talk more about Argentina, Algeria next week when we get to that. But I wanted to check out Fan Fest. I told you after the show yesterday, if you go on our Instagram and our Twitter accounts, I was going to just be kind of documenting the entire day. So I think, for those that were heading down, I think there's a couple tips that I can give as well for some people. But in general, the entire setup is very, very cool. I mean, we've seen the photos and the videos of the Heart and the Liberty Memorial, and that framing of it is a beautiful shot. Like, it is awesome. It's picturesque. They did a phenomenal job with the setup. The area is massive. There's this main stage area and huge, I don't even know what the exact
square footage,
but huge stage with multiple screens. And then anywhere else you go, there's always screens. So whether you're up by the main stage or further back in the grass area by some of the other activation stuff, they've got screens on the left and right. They've got like 4 different hydration zones because it's obviously very hot outside. And if you can bring in one empty clear plastic bottle and you can just keep filling it up, which you should do because the food prices and concession prices are pretty crazy. So even if you don't want to spend a fortune on bottles of water, I suggest bringing an unopened or empty plastic clear bottle to refill. But they have a separate area as well with another 4 or 5 screens to watch with some chairs. They have over 20 different restaurants or vendors for food. Some of it local places, right? Like Arthur Bryant's has one.
Donutology maybe or something.
Yeah, they got burrito tacos. They've got dumplings. They got everything you could think of as far as for food there. And the one thing I'll tell you, though, it's like $19 for a beer, Cody. $19 for a beer. Burger and fry is going to cost you $25. So it's stadium pricing plus some. So if you're taking the family, just a heads up, so you don't get sticker shock. A burger and fry. I got yesterday a burger, fry, and a bottle of water was $31. So that's the one thing I would warn you about if you're doing that. I will also say if you have kids, like there's stuff to do, but it's not as much as what we've seen at the Super Bowl or NFL draft with the activation. So there's not like just this giant area for you to go and like do kid activation stuff. Yeah.
That's kind of disappointing. I would think like a small soccer pitch or even just
there's open grass.
The obvious things, like like bags or, just something to do.
There's open grass area, of course, when there's not a ton of people around. And yes, if you brought a soccer ball, they have like Bank of America has an activation thing. I think you can build out like a bracelet or whatever. Maybe some of the kids would like that, but the line was pretty long already for that. So just a heads up, it's definitely more about hanging out and watching the games and drinking and eating. And that's what I would say more than anything else. The other thing I'll say for those that are taking the bus down there. So near our station, we're in Mission, and so there's the Mission Transit Center. And there's like 20 plus other spots around the metro, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the airport or the Legends or, Oak Park Mall, wherever, right? To hop on a bus. And some of the buses will only go to Fan Fest and some of the buses will go to the stadium. So I hopped on from the Mission Transit Station and they have buses every 20 minutes. I will say that part was very smooth. So you got to reserve your ticket in advance and go online. It's $5 for a 1 day round trip ticket to Fan Fest. Because you're not going to want to deal with parking or anything. So I got to the transit center like at 12:10. The bus we left around 12:35. About 1 o'clock we were at Fan Fest. They drop you off. There's a huge area and where they're dropping off all the spots.
And it was smooth? No questions?
The bus part was very smooth on the way there. I'll get to the way back in a second. Then you walk maybe 5 minutes, if that, to the line to get in. Now, I think this is because of the weather. The line to get into Fan Fest took 50 minutes yesterday. Now, part of this was when I got there at 1:11.
50?
Because I was documenting this on our socials. At 1:11, because I was curious how long. It took 50 minutes because with the weather in the area, they did not let people in for a 20-minute period or so. So once they did that, the line went pretty quick. But initially, it was a 50-minute wait to get in. And then once I got in, I went back to the line later to see, and there was no line. So I think a lot of it was because the weather delayed the start for people to get in the facility.
Yeah.
And if you have one of the VIP passes for like the lounge, the GA line, like the line to get in is this. Eventually, once you get up towards the security, it splits off into separate entrance. But the initial,
you gotta be in the main initial line,
it's still the same.
Sucks.
And then it splits off. So just a heads up on that. And then the only other thing I would say is on the way back, and they claim this wouldn't happen. It was day one jitters for them and trying to figure it out. The bus on the way back, I waited 50 minutes to get on the bus.
So you waited 50 minutes to get in and 50 minutes to get on the bus back.
On
but
the
they're
way back.
saying
They're saying on the way
that's a scheduling issue, not a permanent issue.
Somebody thought it was
right.
a good idea yesterday.
Plan ahead, I guess.
Somebody thought, and they corrected it, I'm sure. Somebody thought it was a good idea that, hey, let's have the drivers switch out of all the buses right after the match happens. Seems like a terrible idea. So instead of switching out the drivers, an hour before when everybody's still inside, they switched out the drivers around 4 o'clock, 4:15, which was right when the Mexico match ended, which is when everybody needed to get on the bus. So that can't happen. I'm sure they fixed that, but that was a mistake. That's why the buses run every 20 minutes, but it took 50 minutes to get on a bus on the way back. Not because there was a long line, but because simply the drivers were in another parking lot we could see switching out, and it took way too long.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it was the worst situation you've ever been in. I'm still offended by the stadium pricing for, I guess, just a field. Like, at least when I'm going to a stadium or what, like, I'm just watching TV there, right, in some capacity. I'm not saying the area itself's not cool.
It's fun. You got to check it out.
And I will. It's not that.
Just be prepared. Someone says, Alex, are you meaning to say activity when you say activation? No, I'm not. Those are called activations. So, like, when Purina has an area, that's called an activation tent.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. That's like a marketing thing. It's
just like
I'm meaning to say activation, yes, not activity. Yeah.
The point being that, like, I guess from the most part, it didn't sound bad other than the travel to and from. This is the thing I think that's tough about going to the stadium, because someone was asking on YouTube, what's the best way to get to the stadium? I'm like, the shuttles.
Yes.
Unless you're going to pay an arm and a leg for the very, very few parking spots are going to be available to there. You just got to figure out where the shuttles are taking. They just added more in the Northland. There's plenty in the South as well. There are areas in which you can get these shuttles, and probably should. And just as long as they're running on time, I would think that. Now, I will say, the fact that you waited 50 minutes.
Yeah, that was the worst part of the whole thing. Yeah.
It was only maybe half full versus what it might be tonight for the U.S. men's soccer match. That concerns me a little that they won't be able to work out all the hiccups by then. So I would say, like, if you're going down from the Sound of Gold, I'd probably leave early and plan to, like, get home later.
Yes.
Like, give yourself time to travel to and from, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And there was still a huge chunk of Mexico fans yesterday. And the video you can see when they scored the first goal of the World Cup, it was a lot of fun when that happened. But I don't know. Maybe yesterday was, I don't know the exact percentage, Cody, 40, 50% full from what it could be ultimately tonight or this weekend. Remember, they'll have more concerts and everything too. What tonight's Tech Nine, and then tomorrow is Chainsmokers, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think so. And again, tonight we'll be busy just because the U.S.
But you should definitely check it out. The view and everybody wants the photo in front of the giant World Cup soccer ball. The KC Hart is displayed. They did a phenomenal job with the lining that up with the Liberty Memorial. It's really, really cool.
It is crazy. The official, I saw somebody post this earlier. The text line said it too, but the official match ball is $200. I'm like, I'm just like stick that on a shelf. It's not even like signed by anybody. 200.
There's a gigantic FIFA store that someone was asking, can you go in there without going in? No, you have to go through security to get to the FIFA store. So you have to have a FanFest ticket to get into the FIFA store as well. And yeah, I went in the store. It's it's no different than when we've been at the draft and the Super Bowl, Cody. It's going to be those kind of pricing for shirts, for soccer ball. It's going to be, premium pricing on a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it. It just, and again, the merch stuff doesn't surprise me. I walk into that tent, it's a $50
t-shirt. The food and drink stuff.
The food and drink does surprise me a little. Was the burger even good? Were the fries good? Be honest.
Fries were actually very good. The burger was fine.
It's like, we're at least the things
not
you
worth
ate.
What you paid for
It's stadium pricing, but I would also say with the premium.
I go situation.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you're prepared for it, then no. But if you're bringing a family of 5, and you don't want to spend well over $100 on food, then yeah, just be prepared for that. But I'm glad I checked it out. I wanted to check it out. I'm planning on going back for more of a experience with the concerts and with friends. Yesterday turned into more of a work thing than anything else. But yeah. They did a nice job with the setup of everything. You'll be very impressed with the actual layout and what they were able to do.
Fair enough. We'll talk to Matt Verderam coming up here in about 15 minutes, including the Wanye Morris trade. He was shifted away from the Chiefs yesterday to Atlanta for a 6th-round pick, and they traded away a 7th-round pick and Wanye Morris in order to facilitate that deal. But we got to talk about the tone deafness of Texas Tech football right now, who spent the last 48 hours threatening lawsuits, including from state congressional members now to go with it. They posted a, not an exaggeration, 21-minute video explaining their side of things yesterday. 2 days ago, they were likening it to, at least we're not Penn State in the middle of their sex scandal. And you're like, cool stuff you guys are doing. They've lost the plot, Gold. And I don't know how Texas Tech thought this was going to go, but when they got back to a corner, they went like wildly flailing their arms at everybody rather than just maybe accepting the public reaction as giving them the general public sentiment on what they're attempting to do. They've decided to go feral in the corner, hoping everybody was just going to side with them. TCU football's account yesterday posted a response to that just saying, hi, we're not going to watch, the classic meme. We're not going to watch all that. Sorry for whatever happened to you, or congrats to whatever it is. Mocking them at this point. What's going on with Tech? How do they think they're just going to fight this through every court system forever in an attempt to what? Keep people on the schedule? I don't understand. You could just walk on Sorsby.
They've just dug their heels in so much now, and now it's like they're so deep into it now, Cody, in defending him and defending the decision from the judge there in Lubbock County, Texas, that they're making fools of themselves, I think, at this point in time.
Ruining their reputation
entirely. No doubt. A reputation of them individually, I think, for their athletic department, all for 1 year of Brendan Sorsby, where maybe you make it.
He wasn't even the best quarterback in the portal this year.
Maybe you make a deep run. This is for 1 year of Brendan Sorsby. I mean, that's what's also kind of weird. This is not someone that's been in their program for 3 or 4 years either.
Nope.
And
just selling their soul for a single season of a guy.
They have now just turned it into trying to play, this card as if everybody is out to get them and it's personal and all that. And I don't get it whatsoever.
They're making it personal because they're making themselves out to be idiots. Everybody hates them now. They're doing it to themselves.
Yeah, and the other part, I think Joey McGuire, their head coach, had a press conference a day or two ago, and he was asked about Brendan Sorsby missing the first 2 games and would he be playing week 3? And they're trying to make it seem like, well, he's going through this program, and we're not so sure he'll be ready for week 3, which to me is a bunch of BS. We all know what's going to happen. Fast forward, guys, you can mark the tape now, as I say it on June 12th. We'll get to week 3. That week, they'll have a press conference, and they'll say, Brendan's done an amazing job and worked so hard at this, and he's battling addiction, which, again, we acknowledge is a real thing. But they're going to make it seem like he's owed the opportunity to play here in week 3 and all. So don't play this game as if they're not sure he's playing. He's playing week 3 of the season. It's just ridiculous. Again, they're treating the people around this like we're all morons.
Like we're all crazy, not them. Yeah. And they keep liking it to more like heinous acts. Nice try, but we're not stupid. And the reason why is because everybody understands that what Sorsby did is a direct conflict with the integrity of the entire sport. Nobody's saying Brent Sorsby is worse than a murderer. And that's how they're trying to frame it, right? There's like, well, people murder people, and you won't let Brendan Sorsby play football. You're like, that's not what we're arguing. We're arguing that he bet on college football while a college football player, and in any other professional sport anywhere on the planet, that is expulsion. That kicks you out of the league. And for obvious reasons.
There's an NCAA rule that says that. Obviously, we know that we're not going to go back and rehash it.
It just doesn't carry any weight, unfortunately.
But there is a rule. The thing I think it's more Cody Campbell than anybody else. He needs to stop. They need to stop talking. Like that video, they need to just stop talking. Just be quiet. Because him saying, well, I didn't see people not scheduling Penn State because the consequences were there. People went to jail. Everybody got fired. Your situation, nobody is being held responsible for what happened. Him getting suspended, Brendan Sorsby getting suspended 2 games isn't even what players should be, according to the bylaw, getting suspended for betting on other sports, not football. So the concept of, of you comparing it to other things is just ridiculous at this point. It's embarrassing. It's tone deaf. It's all the things that you guys have said. It's just very embarrassing. And now everybody was making fun of Sark. Well, you're not scheduling Texas. If I was Texas, what I would say is, you know what? If they don't, if they follow the rules, like, yeah, we'll go ahead and play Texas Tech. If they want to play, we're going to play, but they can't play this quarter. Like, I would be everybody's on Steve Sarkisian's side now, which is kind of bonkers because 4 weeks ago, we were making fun of Sark and how they would never schedule Texas Tech. And now everybody's like, you know what? It's understandable why you don't like Texas Tech.
They should just take him up on the offer right now anyway, because now Brendan Sorsby's not playing in week 2 anyway. So let's go ahead and take him up on the offer right now. Go ahead. Go for it.
Go ahead and reschedule.
We'll go ahead and do that.
Go ahead and reschedule Abilene Christian.
Or like throw it back in the face and said, you know what? We'll play you week 1 if Sorsby's not on your roster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be week 2.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
At all.
Is Sorsby
Get rid of that guy and we'll put you on the schedule.
That's what Drew was saying.
Go that far. Like, it's just like, it's so silly.
It's very embarrassing.
They're going out like petulant children. Like, I'm not getting my way. I want my way. Thinking you're the good guy in this situation is wild to me. He also, he's referencing points, like you'd mentioned the Penn State one. He's referencing things in which everyone got fired or went to jail.
Literally.
So, there was a punishment for the thing that you're talking about, Cody. It's like, which version of this thing, I don't know what Cody Campbell's even talking about. It's like, there were repercussions across the board for all the things you're referencing. So, what is your point?
Are you embarrassed
here?
On behalf of all Codys? Are you embarrassed?
A little bit. He should give me his money, and I'll
He's tarnishing your name
for all of it. I'll be a better ward for his cash than he is. He's just spinning attack like a child. I'd have just told him, maybe no Sorsby. Sorry, guys, bad news. We'll just have to pay for the highest paid portal guy next year. My money's not drying up. We'll figure out a way to keep the program alive. It stinks this guy bet. This is the most obvious PR thing. Also, they're doing the opposite of the current PR move. The current PR strategy for anybody who gets in this kind of trouble is shut the hell up.
Yes.
Shut the hell up. Say nothing.
Quiet.
Hope that people forget. Hope that some other massive scandal or thing in the world happens that has nothing to do with you. Shut the hell up. And instead, they're doing 21-minute Twitter videos trying to explain round table of just sycophants all together.
Yeah, we're about
on the same side.
We're about a day or so away from them blaming the media for all of it. We're a day away or so from them moving on to the next page of their plan, which will be it's the media's fault. So we're very close. They're going through the process. They've learned from others. So I think that's where we're at.
Just Just very embarrassing. And then because Joey McGuire was on that little video too, the 21-minute video. It was Cody Campbell, the AD, and Joey McGuire as well. I don't know where it goes from here though. Now, just in terms of, I mean,
got to wait for the court. Got to wait for the court thing.
I don't think they're going to stop talking, Cody. I think they're going to keep on doing this.
I think they are too. I don't think they're going to learn the lesson of shutting up. Somebody says I got to fight him to decide the best Cody Campbell. He's 6'4", 300 pounds.
Kick your ass.
I gotta say, I don't think that'd go great for me.
That's probably also why he has this energy. Like, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you.
It's the money part, too. Like, it really is. Like, when you're that size and you got all this cash, nobody's ever told you no. He was clearly just some rich daddy's kid. That's the other guy from earlier. In this case, he's the rich dad.
Yes.
You know, that guy sucked.
You've been on a heater in this first hour, Cody.
I don't like Cody Campbell. He was a likable figure. I mean, like 2 weeks ago? He's just some rich guy who wanted his team to be good. And now...
Calling out Sark, and now he's the complete opposite.
Yeah, calling out Sark. We all thought that was fun, and now, idiot. Holding stupid round tables for nonsense. I know we're going to talk about Matt Verderame. Did you make much of the Wanya Morris deal? I'm not upset he's gone, but like if I'm Atlanta, I'd probably say, fine deal.
Yeah, if we were in Atlanta and we said the Falcons traded for a lineman that has had starts in the NFL and all you gave up was a 6th-round pick or a pick swap, you'd say, what do you got to lose? And so for the Falcons, it makes a lot of sense. For the Chiefs, it clearly was a player that they don't have plans for anymore, and they did right by him, to their credit. He wanted out. They're clearly confident in Pule, I think, to be the swing tackle. I know some people think he could start. I think Jalen Moore will be the starting right tackle, but
I do too.
But I know there's some that believe it will not be him. I would still have loved the depth of having Wanya Morris, right? Like if Wanya was basically your third string offensive lineman, to me that's a good problem to have. But they clearly thought it was going to be a distraction. It's not like the Chiefs so desperately needed a 6th-round draft pick. So this is not even like
he wanted out and we're going to do right by him.
Exactly. Yeah. This is not like he's someone we can get a good value for in the trade market. No, you got a 6th-round pick. So this was more of we don't want a distraction. Maybe they were worried he would become one, or they're just trying to do right by a player that they think's a good guy. I don't know. They didn't have to trade him though. Of course not.
No, but it's fair enough that if you don't think he's a part of your answer at either swing tackle or tackle, and you can move up into the 6th in a deep draft, fine. Like, it's a pick swap. It doesn't move the needle in some big way that I'm going to, lose my mind over. I would say Atlanta's fair to say we got the better end of the deal, and this is a guy who might actually have to play tackle for us this year. And they'll regret this trade if they have more than one injury at tackle. Like, if Simmons misses time or Moore misses time and then Pole also misses time. Like, if they're short even one tackle, they're going to regret not having it.
Yeah, and suddenly the Falcons have, as someone pointed out in the text line, the Falcons have 2 former Chiefs offensive linemen. They got Jawan Taylor and Wanya Morris. So their
offensive line's going to stink.
Well, Wanya, I don't think Wanya is starting for Atlanta, is he? Is he legitimately competing?
No, I think he's just a swing guy.
Jawan Taylor
I would have given Jawan Taylor that contract. I said that then. He's pennies. And I'm not saying he's like the world's best right tackle, but he's out there for peanuts.
I think fans were done with him though too.
I know.
because of the lining up incorrectly.
At that price, they couldn't figure it out.
I don't know, man.
Like at that number, they couldn't.
I'll tell you this: the Falcons, who will not be on the primetime spotlight quite like the Chiefs, I will, oddly enough, be keeping an eye on how many penalties Jawan Taylor has for the Atlanta Falcons. Only because
it'll be 0.
You watch. No, you're exactly right. You watch. All of a sudden, he's not going to get penalized at all in Atlanta. It's going to be ridiculous.
He's not going to stop doing it. Someone said they at least saved some money. Yeah, they saved $1.5 million.
I mean, yeah. If that's what was preventing them from doing anything, then
I don't think that was. They can figure that money
if we were talking about a guy on a 2nd-year contract and they saved $7 million or something, then it's like, okay, well, yeah.
He's a 3rd-round pick. He was making $1.5 million. No dead cap this year, so it was free and clear to trade him.
I think they just traded him to do right by him, I guess. I would have liked the depth, though. But
I would have, too, but I'm also not offended.
No, I would have said, sorry, man, you're under contract. We're keeping you because we know there's going to be an offensive line injury at some point this year. It happens every year. Somebody misses a game or two. It just does. There's no team really goes all year with all their offensive linemen starting all 17.
The Chiefs haven't even gotten close in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Up next, let's talk more about the Chiefs with Matt Verderame from Sports Illustrated, Patrick Mahomes' contract extension, the Wanya Morris trade, some other NFL news and notes with Matt Verderame right here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Shawnee Mission Ford, well, they're on a mission to do more here in 2026. You guys maybe have been paying attention over the last couple months. I've been telling you I've been driving the 2026 Ford Mustang Mach-E, fully electric, been saving some money, not having to fill up and put gas in the tank, and I'm about a week away from swapping that out. and finding out what vehicle I'm driving next from Shawnee Mission Ford. Cannot wait to unveil that. You know that I've enjoyed driving the F-150, the Ford Bronco, the Ford Expedition, all great cars and trucks in the Ford lineup. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you can go and test drive a vehicle. Great weather coming up this weekend maybe to do that and take advantage of paying what they pay. We're talking American value for American values over at Shawnee Mission Ford. Go over to Shawnee Mission Ford or ShawneeMissionFord.com.
USA soccer fans, this boost is for you because right now FanDuel is dropping a massive USA Super Boost for the matchup against Paraguay. Right now, all customers, yes, every single customer can win up to $25 if the U.S. has at least one shot. Yeah, I didn't misspeak. That's not a typo. Just one shot gets it done. That's one of the best and biggest boosts that FanDuel has ever offered. All you need is one moment from the USA to cash in. Back to the United States and get in on this huge super boost before kickoff. That's FanDuel.com/local to get things going. FanDuel is making it easy to follow the World Soccer Championships and make it easy to bet on all your favorite sports. FanDuel.com/local. You can win up to $25 if the USA has one shot against Paraguay. Only on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app and the official sportsbook of 98.65 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max wager $25. Return apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This Father's Day, spoil your dad with everything Gates Barbecue. Be sure to visit your local grocer for Gates sauces and seasonings. Both are delicious on meats, fish, chicken, veggies like broccoli and spinach, and on hot buttered popcorn, even as a topping for dips or sprinkle Gates seasonings on chips and nuts to add that extra flavor pop. Nothing says Father's Day like a Gates party tray, sure to please everyone at the table. Be sure to prepare your Father's Day meal with Gates sauces and seasonings. So head to Gates Barbecue this Father's Day. Gates Barbecue. Thanks with love.
I'm somewhere on a beach. Get lost with Dierks Bentley. Off the Map Tour. Dierks Bentley Live. I'm drunk on a plane. Buying drinks for everybody. Playing Martin Amphitheater this Saturday night with Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder and Owen Reekley. Dierks Bentley. What was I thinking? Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Dierks Bentley live this Saturday night at Morton Amphitheater.
Steak is for dads. All types of dads. Grill dads, cast iron dads, charcoal dads, all united by their love of steak. So shop in store at Omaha Steaks at the Fountains in Overland Park for the perfect Father's Day gift. From perfectly aged, oh so tender USDA certified tender steaks to hand-selected gift packages, Omaha Steaks makes it easy to give your dad what he really wants. A license to grill with a Father's Day gift from Omaha Steaks at the Fountains, or go to omahasteaks.com today for fast delivery.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
The U.S. Treasury quietly released its official financial report for 2025. It appears by its own numbers, the U.S. government seems insolvent. It's reported that the Treasury shows about $6 trillion in assets and over $47 trillion in liabilities. Add it all up, and it looks like the U.S. owes more than $130 trillion it doesn't have. If that were a family, they'd earn $52,000 a year, spend $73,000, and already be more than $1 million underwater. Any accountant would call that insolvent. So how does the government fix this? It can print money, which erodes your purchasing power, it can raise taxes, or it can cut benefits. And none of those can help to protect you. That's why many people who have something to lose move part of their savings into physical gold and silver, assets that can't be printed, defaulted on, or voted away. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide and a no-pressure conversation. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut in the Northland on Friday, June 12th as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2 with kickoff to follow at 8 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 20 minutes. Don't forget, later on today, a Fan Club Friday at 1 o'clock brought to you by Jay Rieger & Co. Our guest today, first-time guest, Jacob Lanier, meteorologist over at Fox 4. We'll talk some Royals, some soccer, some weather, because it's been a weird spring/summer already. And I know
it's just
people
like storming every day.
Yeah, storming every day. And I feel like next week we've got the Argentina-Algeria match. And I know I already had somebody text me worried about the weather for that. So we'll find out. We'll learn some stuff. Maybe eventually we'll see how it goes. Maybe we need an official meteorologist on the show. I know we have Cloudy with a Chance during training camp.
Like a real one?
But a real meteorologist, So we'll have Jacob join us in the 1 o'clock hour. All right, right now, let's go out to the phones and welcome in Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated. Of course, check out the Matt Verderam Show, and his Twitter account does a great job, not just with the Chiefs, but across the National Football League. Matt, good to have you on the show, my man. I know you moved, too, since the last time we talked to you. Are you unpacked? You went from Chicago to Connecticut, right?
Yes, outside of Hartford. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks. We've unpacked most things. The house is largely set up. But, the day we got there, it was like 90-some-odd degrees. I flipped on the air conditioning. Didn't work.
Oh.
That was like a fun, hey, guess what? You got to buy a new AC. But other than that, it's been good, and now I'm 2 hours away from New York City. So if the Knicks get it done, I can go down to the parade and hopefully survive.
Are you a Knicks fan?
I'm a diehard Knicks fan.
I did not know this.
3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
okay, so what was your reaction 2 nights ago then as that was playing out, down 30?
Shock. Genuinely, I was watching with my daughter Maisie, that was the second Knicks game she'd ever watched. She's like, they could still win. They're only down 25. I'm like, honey, they're going to win. And then they started coming back. I was like, oh my God, they might actually win the game. And I think so everyone listening, most people, Chiefs fans, it was very akin to when the Chiefs won that 24-0 game against Houston, where as you were watching it, your 50-plus years of baggage is telling you there's no way they're actually going to do this. But then as it's happening, you're just kind of slowly allowing yourself to believe, but look, they got to win one more. As a Knicks fan, I still live in sheer terror that they'll lose the next 3. But, one more to go. And then I go to a parade, and God only knows from there.
It wasn't until Mahomes, really broke those curses that I stopped caring that, they got the Colts in the playoffs or whatever, Matt. It took years of breaking generational fandom curses,
That's just it. It's funny. Everybody looks back to the Anunoby tip, and of course, it was just unbelievable, the potentially iconic player if they win the series. But my first reaction when it went, other than just screaming and being very excited, was, oh God, there's 1.2 left. You just have that innate fear that something horrible is going to happen because it always happens. People talk about the Knicks in Madison Square Garden like they never lose there. If you go and look at the last 30 years, prior to Game 4, at the games that are famous in that building, they're all games where the Knicks have lost in some horrendous fashion. Every one of them. So you just kind of expect it, but it definitely has been enjoyable, and hopefully they've got one more in their satchel here before the season's over.
The big news for the Chiefs this week, Matt, was that Patrick Mahomes has signed a contract extension, extending him for the first time since 2020. It was long overdue. Nobody's arguing that. How much more security, I guess, does this give the Chiefs or Mahomes? Is this one of those, we'll just pay you like one of the top guys and thanks for the couple of extra years? Do you make much of this deal, or does this just seem like business as usual?
No, I don't make much. Look, it's an adjustment. They're just making sure that he's paid the way he should be paid. I think when he signed that initial 12-year deal, 10-year extension back in 2020, it was a little bit of a, hey, look, I'm going to sign this, but you guys are going to take care of me, right? And they have. They've lived up to their end of the bargain. Listen, it's a unique contract. There's nobody else in the league signed this long. it allows the Chiefs an incredible amount of flexibility because not only is it a long contract, almost all of his money is in base salary. So they can convert that from base to bonus. That opens up all that. That's how they, every year for fans out there, that's how they convert like $40 million every year. They take $40 million of it, and you can spread it out as far as 5 years down the road. It's just got to be spread out evenly. So, the Chiefs just continue to give themselves flexibility, and Mahomes is, continuing to rack up more money. And, look, I will say this. I think if there's anything to take out of it, it does show you that Mahomes still believes in the team and believes in their ability to build around them, despite the fact that his number one receiver is currently in prison. And, there are looming questions about that group. But signing that extension does show, hey, look, I still fully believe in the organization and the structure and everything else.
We're talking to Matt Verderam here on 96.5 The Fan. Wanya Morris gets traded yesterday, essentially a pick swap on top of that. We were discussing it. Is this just doing right by the player here? I mean, I would have liked to have the depth. I mean, clearly they knew that he was not going to be part of their plans, though, this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a little bit of, hey, look, he's been a good soldier. He's been here. He's done what we've asked. He's been ready when we've asked. We've called on. I mean, not that he's been great, but he's been, serviceable. I also think they probably look at it like he's their fourth tackle. I think Esapole is at this point higher up in the depth chart. Obviously, you have Moore and you have Simmons. And then there's an open question of, guys like Ethan Driscoll, players like that. Do they move up the chart? So I think they just kind of realized, well, he's not going to play. And if he plays, it's a catastrophic situation. And at that point, we're screwed anyway. They gave him an opportunity. Look, in Atlanta, he probably goes and he's the swing tackle there. So he's a little higher up on the chart. And, if you're the Chiefs, I know they moved to seventh with it. You get a sixth. Like the Chiefs, one thing I will say for the Chiefs, whether this comes into play at the trade deadline or next year in the draft, they have a lot of picks next year. Chiefs have a lot of maneuverability. If you factor in the comp picks they're expected to get, you're probably looking at a first, a second, 2/3, 2/4, multiple six. That's a lot. That is a lot. If they decide at the deadline they want to go get somebody, especially in the draft this loaded, those picks really hold a lot of weight. I could see them, being aggressive with those.
I guess I've maybe mentioned this in the past, and we've talked about it on this show, Matt, but like that, when you say that, I still have the same thing where I don't understand how teams don't fall into the trap of, what if we treat the second most important thing to us like a quarterback because we have the quarterback? In the sense that, let's say the Chiefs are picking 30th, but a great wide receivers at 9. Why not? Why not give up future picks in the future for the guy for the rest of the way, right? The star in a lot of ways. I know it's trading up like you would trade for a quarterback, but if you have that guy, it feels like that risk might be worth it to a franchise.
Well, and to your point, I do wonder with the Chiefs, and this is probably the first year since they've had Mahomes, where you really look at them and say, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, I would be shocked if they're just flat out bad, but they could be a 9-8, 10-7 team. Assuming some things obviously don't break the way they're hoping, they could go 12-5, 13-4 if these rookies are good and Walker's running wild and Rice has a big contract. Like, they could be, especially in a conference where I could say about 6 different teams. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and I just wonder, if they get to the deadline and the Commanders stink, do the Chiefs just call up Washington and say, what do you want from McLaurin? Did the Chiefs call up the Saints if they're not good? What do you want for Olave in the final year of his deal, especially now that you have Tyson as your number one, you would think. I just think if you're Kansas City, if you're in the mix this year, and look, their early season schedule would give them the opportunity to be at the deadline where you think they could be 7-2 or something if they're good. Do they go out and aggressively add? Because I look at their roster, not how you guys feel about it, but I think the roster ranges anywhere from good to quite good, except the receivers are just, you're one pulled hamstring away from a catastrophe. I don't know what you do there. I mean, there are questions other places, but that's the one. I am shocked they have not gone out and signed Debo for a year, Keenan Allen for a year, whatever, fill in the blank. And they've just kind of sat on their hands. That has shocked me.
Yeah, you're right. I would also say, as you know, it's June 12th. I mean, this could still happen the day or two before training camp. I mean, do you think that there still is a veteran signing on the way, whether it's wide receiver or any other position? We know Cam Jordan's still out there as well.
Yep. Look, will there be? I don't know. I think there ought to be. I mean, they could easily create some room with a simple restructure of a guy like Creed Humphrey. I don't understand the mindset of looking at this roster, which I think is good, but lacking in a few areas. And to your point, look, if our Mason Thomas isn't good, you're right back to where you were at edge rush last year. Like, nothing else has changed. Why wouldn't you go get Cam Jordan or Jadeveon Clowney? Just as a little bit of insurance. At receiver, I don't say this to be funny. I'm dead serious. Rashee Rice doesn't currently have his freedom right now. Xavier Worthy's been in a non-contact jersey. Tyquan Thornton had a litany of injuries in New England. You are relying, if any of those guys go down, on a fifth-round rookie and Jalen Royals, who last year they refused to play so they could trot out Juju Smith-Schuster 90% of the snaps down the stretch. Like, you're going to tell me that they just are ultra-confident putting Royals or Allen out there? Really? Like, that seems like a really bad idea, barring a miracle. So, yeah, I mean, look, how much could Deebo Samuel cost you? 1 year and $8 million bucks? Like, it can't be more than that. It might not even be that. So I do think the Chiefs have to have some kind of a signing to give them a little insurance in some capacity for camp.
You brought up Jalen Moore's name a minute or two ago, and Cody and I are on the same page, feeling like, okay, he will be the week 1 right tackle, but I feel like it's more of a social media thing. There's this thought that Pole could really push him during camp. Are you buying that?
I'm not, unless Pole comes in and is really ganged. Like I think he would have to outplay him, like drastically outplay. You know what I mean? Like, if it's even up or it's close, I think they will ride with Moore. He's a more experienced player. They're more invested in financially. I think it would have to be a situation where Pole comes in and it's just obvious he's better, and they'd say, "Okay, look, we have to play him." I mean, it's not practice. We don't. But I would put it. If you said, "Give me the odds," Jalen Moore is starting right tackle, 90%. I mean, I would be very surprised if he's not, barring injury, of course.
I want to ask you about Broncos players in trouble in just a minute, but they signed L'Jarius Sneed earlier this week. He is cornerback, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, my God.
Mansour's 1. I can make an argument for 2. I can make an argument down to probably only 3, but, where does he land in the pecking order?
Oh, I mean, I think you could make an argument. I don't know if he makes the team. I mean, look, he's played 12 games and 660 snaps since he left Kansas City. I mean, as my cohort on KCSN, Tucker Franklin, always likes to point out, he's played more playoff games for the Chiefs than he played regular season games for the Titans. So, I mean, this is a guy who, listen, his last year in Kansas City, 2023, they were literally week to week with him, hoping his knee would hold up and not give out before the Super Bowl. I think if he comes in and he's going to compete with Kadir Kohu, Jaden Kennedy, I think they would love to put him in the slot just because he gives you that versatility there. He's an excellent blitzer. He can obviously play inside. Of course, he can also play outside. I think if you're the Chiefs, the best case scenario is he comes in, he looks reasonably healthy, and you basically just tell him, hey, man, you're going to play a real limited snap count until about Thanksgiving. Like, you're going to play maybe 20 to 25 snaps a game, and then we will unleash you from Thanksgiving on. But it's a real ask to say, oh, he's just going to come out and play significant snap. He hasn't been healthy in years. I mean, even in 2023, if you remember, he
was barely healthy that year, yeah.
He barely held up. I just think, if you're the Chiefs, I think this is almost one of these deals. You're just trying to get him as far down the line as you can. If you're good, then you ramp it up at the end and hope he can hold up for a month and a half. I don't see any world he goes out there and plays 900 snaps this year.
What do you make of what's going on with Jonathan Cooper? We've obviously talked plenty about the Chiefs' consistent legal troubles over the last couple of years, but Jonathan Cooper was arrested last week and then was released on some misdemeanor domestic violence stuff, and now was arrested again for the violation of protection order and harassment, which came after that arrest. What the hell are the Broncos going to do here? Because if they thought maybe they were going to skirt the suspension, normally sometimes you can dodge it for a year in the NFL for the legal process to take place, but the NFL might have to act on this one.
Oh, he's getting. I'd be shocked if he's not suspended. I mean, here's a guy who gets in trouble, like significant trouble, and then immediately goes out and gets in more significant trouble. I mean, I don't know how absolutely dumb of the decisions you have to make to do that. Like, that's unbelievably dumb and dangerous and all the rest of it. Look, I mean, how long will they suspend him? That is always the open question in the NFL, because we all know sometimes the NFL throws a dart at the board. Sometimes it's 2 games, sometimes it's 6 games. I would be surprised if he's playing in the month of September. I don't think he's going to be. To your point, if that first incident happens, maybe the NFL says, okay, you know what, let's let it play out, let's let it adjudicate. Now that there's been a second time, and so quickly, I think the NFL is going to go, all right, look, I mean, we gotta do something to kind of quell this here and remove ourselves from it as much as possible. And if you're the Broncos and Cooper, what are you going to do? You're going to appeal it? Like, realistically, you're not going to appeal it. So, yeah, I think Jonathan Cooper, he's probably looking at a suspension that I would think probably puts him out of September.
Matt Verderam, Sports Illustrated. Good luck to your Knicks tomorrow night. We'll see if you make it to the parade. Be sure to document your antics at the parade. Please do not burn any couches or anything.
Oh, but listen, if I'm at the parade, the last thing that my employer is going to want me documenting me at that parade. So let's go next.
Good call. There you go. Matt Verderam joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Diehard Knicks fan. And, yeah, I mean, they're 1 win away, man.
That city is going to potentially...
like, it's okay to celebrate and have a great time. Can we please not try to beat people up and throw eggs at people and get in fistfights nonstop like with New York?
They might shut down an entire street and just not stop. I mean,
that's going to happen.
There's going to be multiple arrests. I mean, they might burn. For all we know, they're going to set a car
Here in Kansas City, we have parades with no
insane.
Arrests sometimes.
No,
just based on the antics of them winning.
Hey, I said sometimes.
Shooting.
Yeah, we did. Probably not unlikely in the New York situation either. I will say, I looked it up. It's, 6 days away? Ryan Suckup days away until Rashee Rice is a free man. I didn't feel like Brian Cook needed that put on him, so I had to go at least.
I mean, he's now
two players
not
back.
a Chief anymore.
He's got less than a week left. Rashee Rice, he's the hard part's done. Is that what you're saying?
Is it?
Is that what you're saying?
What's the hump part of getting out of jail?
I don't know. These last 6 days must be taking forever.
Oh, man. I bet the last 48 to 72
what's
hours
the first
is
thing
some of the worst.
What's the first thing you do if you're Rashee Rice when you get out?
I hope go sit on your couch. Pick up a Netflix show. Read. Literally anything besides leave your home.
For his sake and for the Chiefs.
Rehab, man.
For the Chiefs.
Rehab. Get to Burkholter's house.
Yeah, for the Chiefs' sake, I hope it's get the hell out of Dallas and fly to Kansas City and just rehab and focus on football, even if it's the offseason and camp's not for another month. Get your butt to Kansas City. Stay away from Dallas.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You don't move to what's the most benign. I'd like you to move to the place least likely to get you in trouble ever. I think Rashee Rice should be a permanent resident of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Just somewhere where there's just no trouble for him. As far away from Texas as possible is what I would prefer. But a lot of this is just you know, we've said this before. You hope that this was the final lesson learned. And that he's got to figure it out since then, but I don't know. Someone says first thing he does is smoke a J. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
I was thinking that, but I would hope he's, well, I can't say smart enough, but, you know.
Not lately.
That would be the only thing that could take it to another level is that a month later it happens again. Then he just
have to cut him. He's never going to learn the lesson.
Then it's completely done. Whatever football consequences there are, you take it at that point. All right, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
Anything to do with weed?
No, I'm just reading more text. People guessing the first thing Rashee Rice is going to do when he gets out of jail. A lot of people saying he's going to smoke. Some other people saying he's just going to catch up on sleep and sleep in a comfortable bed. Well, I bet the sleep hasn't been good. All right, let's get to the trash of the day. This might be familiar for Drew. Bradenton, Florida. You ever been to Bradenton, Florida?
No, but I have. A ton of good college football players come out of Bradenton.
Okay.
I've been to Bradenton. I went to a wedding there.
Okay. All right. Well, a man was arrested. There was surveillance video showing him breaking into a store in Bradenton. So the details are at a mini mart around 9:55 in the evening a couple days ago. Video footage shows him hopping down into the store from a vent in the ceiling, which triggered the store's security system. He spent less than 10 minutes inside the store, took handfuls of cigarettes, stacks of lottery tickets, alcohol, bologna, and cheese slices. They review the store footage, and they identify this guy. It's crystal clear photo of what this guy looks like right there.
Okay. Just plain as day.
They spotted him near the store, enthusiastically scratching the lottery tickets that he stole while carrying a backpack full of cigarettes. The police department put on their Facebook page, if your burglary ends with you scratching stolen lottery tickets a short distance from the crime scene, your odds of avoiding arrest are significantly worse than your odds of winning the lottery. He was arrested and charged with burglary to a structure causing damage. He jumped down through the ceiling again.
What happens if one of those tickets he did scratch actually would have won the
lottery?
lottery?
He didn't pay for them. It doesn't matter.
No,
it's void.
I know.
No winner.
I'm saying that there is no winner. Just move on to the next one.
Yeah.
See,
He didn't pay
I'd be
for
ticked
it.
off if I was any of the customers. It's like, dang, man, I could have had a shot.
Yeah.
It was at the store.
That would be brutal. He had one of those $100,000 prizes, and it turns
He
out
obviously wouldn't get it, but if
how would they know which ones he took, though? I guess. Like, let's say he got one that was worth $200,000, and he got it snuck away before they put him away. How could they know? They got a system that says what ticket number? I guess
they know what store has what tickets.
Okay, like in order, I guess is the question I have.
Not in order, but like they found him with all the tickets he was scratching.
Yeah, that's
a short time later.
If they hadn't found him, let's say he had stashed away one winner.
Gotcha.
Do you think they would have picked up on the one that was missing? Probably.
My guess is they know which store has which even scratcher. Certainly for Powerball tickets they do, but for even scratchers, my guess is they still log what store has what number.
This goes back to the biggest scandal of our childhood, which is the McDonald's Monopoly game was all a scam, and we never had a chance to get Boardwalk.
I know.
And it's all BS.
I know.
And I feel like there should have been some sort of class action lawsuit that I could have been a part of. Because I'll tell you right now, as kids, Drew, I'll tell you right now, we tried to get some of the grand prize award, like rewards for that, and it just turned out it was one dude giving all the game-winning pieces to all of his boys this entire time. Family and friends and whoever else. It's like 1/4 mile stretch of everybody doing it. Someone says they have barcodes, Cody. They can see if they was scanned. I know. I was just saying if he had gotten one. But someone's saying they had to scan it in order to do it.
Like fully show
the
it was
tickets
purchased.
were.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, most, not all criminals, but certainly some are stupid.
That is the trash of the day. More people texting in guesses on what Rashee Rice will do when he is out of jail in 6 days. Someone says he's going to call Ruby Rose. Simple. Okay.
Someone also suggested Polo, Missouri.
I mean,
is the place
probably,
to go.
honestly. That's more realistic than some of the other texts we've got. I mean, wouldn't you? Been in jail for a month.
There's one that would be very, very terrible of a decision.
What's that?
The race home one.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, it's just so self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word, like you could have just, what it was? It's like, it's not just he got in the accident, it's that he left the accident. He did it's all the stuff.
Yes.
Every decision was just somehow dumber than speeding, bad decision. Leaving the accident, dumber decision. Breaking probation, even dumber decision. You're like, what are you doing? It's like a series of worse decisions somehow.
Yes, but it all started with the accident.
Any of these lessons could have been learned from the tragic accident from Henry Ruggs years ago, who did not get parole.
His parole was denied yesterday.
That's pretty common, isn't it?
I didn't see that. I have no idea, Cody.
To not get parole the first time through? I think that's
I wonder if he'll be able to, when he'll be able to.
I don't know the circumstances of how the Nevada parole board operates for Henry Ruggs. No clue. Of course, in that case, somebody lost their life. I have no clue. If that was expected or not expected.
I just didn't. It feels like
It's been 5 years since the crash. He'll be eligible for parole again next August.
So he gets once a year now or so. What was his total sentence? I don't remember.
3 to 10 years. So he served 5.
Okay. In fairness, it's like if you read these studies, it's considered uncommon to get parole your first time around.
There were talks of him, if he did get it, that he's
the NFL
in good enough shape that he would try to come back. I don't know how
old
but
he would
is
also
now.
still be suspended.
28?
My guess is from the NFL for.
I guess at that point, does the NFL he went to jail? I
don't know.
I understand. We talked about this just the other day. With it's not a right, it's a privilege when it comes to guys like Sorsby. In my opinion, he would have been suspended from. He's not suspended, but he was punished for it. I don't know if he needs to be double punished by the NFL.
He's 29.
I don't think he'd come back anyway. I don't think a team would really give him a chance, but not with that amount of time.
He's 27, I thought. I think he's only 27, right?
That's it.
He's 27. I'm sorry. He was born in 99. That's why I got the...
Okay, you're
he's
good.
27,
I was like,
born in 1999. My bad.
Okay. I was like,
I crossed the two together.
Yeah, I mean, he got in this accident.
That was like his rookie season, wasn't it?
Like, first or second year in the league.
Crazy.
Something like that.
All right, that's the trash of the day. All right, up next, let's get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Let's talk about impact player, perhaps on the defensive side of the ball, and back into the weapons that some of the greats had compared to where Patrick Mahomes is at, and if that tells us about what's about to happen. That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, you guys know baseball season is in full swing. That means the summer heat is on its way. In fact, I'd argue it has already arrived with some of the humidity in the area. And, well, the guys over at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This summer, grab a truly hard seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
High energy bills? Can't get cool enough? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Put your trust in over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Video stream, we are glad to report, is up and running. Text line is up and running. Things are rocking and rolling today, thank goodness. YouTube, Twitch,
it's
X,
working now?
and Facebook. It is. This morning, the morning show, they had, before their show, they had the fire alarm in the building, I guess, went off at like 5-something this morning.
This whole building's falling apart.
It's almost the weekend, man. It's almost the weekend.
I feel like everyone here needs it. The engineers have been really going through it this week.
Oh,
would it be out of line to just like throw a bottle of whiskey on the engineer's desk and be like, I get it, man. Because like no internet, everything's broken, fire alarms. He was here at 6 a.m. having to turn that fire alarm off. What did I just drop a bottle of whiskey on the guy's desk?
I don't know what's going on this
on
week,
behalf
man.
of Cody and Gold. You know, we can all take equal credit. That way, if something ever breaks on this show, he knows that the engineering knows we appreciate them. Or do I have to get it for everyone in engineering? Can they share a bottle? That's tough to say. It sucked worse for them.
You know, there's other gifts other than giving people alcohol, right? You know that? Like,
yeah, but like what?
You know,
just gonna get like a Target gift card? I mean, that just feels weird.
There's other gifts besides
by the way,
alcohol.
funny, hilarious story from last night. Speaking of gift cards.
Let's hear this.
So
Where were you last night?
Dave & Buster's.
Of course, Wednesday
So,
night.
it's
Oh, wait,
weird.
that was the third. Why
He saw Harry Kane.
Usually you go on Wednesdays, I thought.
Yeah,
That's
wait a
it.
second. That's not half price night, is it?
No, it's not. But it was one of those. I was exhausted after I went and played golf yesterday. I was exhausted. I was like, you know what? Let's go. We've played enough games. There was a certificate essentially for a free dinner, basically. That's how many games
You
I've
go
played.
to Dave and
I've
Buster's
played
enough where now you're getting free dinners. It's like casinos. He's got his own VIP host at Dave and Buster's.
They give him the corner booth.
Man, he's a high roller at Dave and Buster's.
Dead serious. I didn't get the person's name. Shout out to his manager. Before we leave, hey man, you guys come in here often. We know you guys are. We wanted to give you a little token of appreciation.
This is your cheers?
They gave us a $20 power card.
Nice.
Shout out to the people at Dave and Buster's.
They recognize you.
Like
so
this
much
couple
as a
comes
kid.
in here every week.
Yeah, no. They said you come in once a week. You guys come in like every week. We wanted to, so shout out to them.
They know you.
We do come in once a week, and yeah.
What'd you get? What'd you eat?
Amazing.
Got some lemon pepper rub wings, which are really good. Fries. His wife got barbecue baby back ribs, which is great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we had. And then, of course, the Angry Orchard. You know,
That's Drew's go-to.
You know,
Show was busy. He was at Dave and Buster's.
Tonight, I might even have myself an Angry Orchard or two.
Ooh.
You know?
Look out.
You were
Look out.
You were at or two.
Whoa.
You were Peanut. They get fired up for USA.
You were at the World Cup. I went, or the World Cup Fan
yeah,
Fest.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that next hour.
I was at the wiffle ball game I play in every year.
How was that?
For the Battle Within. Our team lost in a walk-off. It's three teams. They do kind of a funny setup, but it was 7-5 in the final third of the seventh inning, and their team hit a walk-off home run. So congrats to them. I will say I was a little worried. I'll just out myself because I was worried the text line would. We've discussed in the show before that I'm not great at reining it in, even in moments in which I know that I should. So yesterday, going into wiffle ball, I told myself, I went there with my son, and I'm like, all right, just be cool. It's a wiffle ball game. It's for charity.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't have to take anything too serious. It's fine.
Don't be overcompetitive.
You can be
It's okay.
competitive, but it's fine. I was playing left field. Ball deep to left. High fence there. I go up, try to catch it with one hand. It's just above my hand. Don't have the ups. I crash into the wall because I was running it too fast of a speed.
Did you hurt yourself?
No, but I broke the fence.
Cody.
Well, obviously I'm an idiot. I understand that. I broke the fence. I broke it in two parts.
What are you
I broke the fence.
This is no.
And to be clear, this is the fence they use.
They should bill
every
you.
year.
They should bill you.
It's the entire scoreboard. So like they have it at Fenway or like Wrigley where they like put up the individual numbers. They have that. And so obviously they reuse this piece every year, and I broke it.
I'm surprised they didn't
made of
charge
wood,
you.
and I snapped several pieces.
They should charge them.
Maybe
I'm
they didn't
actually convinced. Or you got to have a massive donation to the charity.
I got to donate extra money to the Battle Within because I broke the fence.
That is shades of you at the pickleball diving over.
I know.
Crashing through. That's exactly what that was. But you actually broke something this time.
Why can't I just shut it off? You know, I'm not good. I'm not athletic enough. It's not high enough. It's not a high enough stakes to do this, and yet here I am.
So you didn't make the catch. If you would have made the
He
catch.
also didn't make the catch.
If I'd made the catch, it actually would have felt worth it, I think.
I think
like
it
when I
would have
made
been
the shot at
worth it.
pickleball, I didn't regret it in any way.
Yes, yeah, because the shot was incredible.
But when I broke the fence and didn't make the catch, it didn't feel worth it at all.
If you would have made the catch, it would have been pretty epic.
Good stuff.
I do give you some credit though for trying. But at the same time,
I'm too
in a
old to be
moment
trying.
like that,
don't give him credit.
At 41,
don't give
you don't
him
have to
credit.
try anymore.
Don't give him
like that,
credit for
it's-
this.
Because there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, I would say so.
He just can't help but go deep. I apologize to home field, to the Battle Within.
You're getting a bad reputation out there.
Oh man, I felt
Everybody
so
else
stupid.
was trying to have a
The kid
good
was trying to
time.
like snap the piece back in place. He was handling the numbers, and so I was like trying to.
he was trying to fix it right afterwards too. Ah man.
Did anybody say anything to you?
The kids behind who were running.
No, but from the organizers.
No, I think it's because it was all the way in left field. Now, in fairness, when I got back, Sean Barber, who was my team captain, said, "Did you break the fence?" And I said, "Yes."
And what did he say?
He made fun of me.
What were the kids behind the fence saying?
Well, they were like, I said, because my first thing was like, "Is it broken?" He's like, "Yeah, it's broken." That's how he said it. Like it was so matter of fact.
He was not happy with you.
Yeah, it's broken. It was so matter of fact. He just couldn't even believe that it was a question I would ask.
Wow.
I just didn't have a good sense of where the wall was. I wasn't planning on crashing into it.
Your on-field awareness was lacking a little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you get for playing wiffle ball once a year. That's it. Now we get to the Chiefs Red half hour. We all did stuff. Let's talk about the defense, though. I was asking about L'Jarius Sneed. Interesting that Matt Verderame thinks there's a chance he doesn't even make the roster at all.
I mean, Nate Taylor, though, said just a day or two ago that he was getting reps with the ones at safety.
Yeah, so like what I was trying to figure out is he a safety, which might be true? Is he a corner? Because I think Noel Williams should be the single biggest upswing player this year. And so, like, for me, he is one of the single... Like, I'm expecting a big impact on defense from him. Because if you want to talk about where they were last year to this year's production for the Chiefs, I think he's one. I think he's number one in jump. Now, you can make an argument for Xavier Worthy or some of these other guys who could also take a leap forward. But, like, Noel Williams, just as long as Sneed doesn't steal the job from him, should be corner, too, and playing important snaps. And because Mansour Delane, I think, will show the league pretty quickly, that's not the kind of person you want to throw against. He's going to get thrown at all the time, Gold. He's going to get pressured. They're going to throw at him. I think we're going to see Noel Williams, and I think he has to be an impactful player for the Chiefs this year for the secondary to have a really good year again.
I was impressed whenever he was on the field and got an opportunity. I remember you and I were discussing him back in December or January, and somebody put out like a redraft type of article. You know, hey, where would these guys go if there was a redraft? This was, mid-January, I think. And we were wondering, would Noel Williams be a late first-round pick if they redrafted, or an early second-round pick if they did a whole redraft? I think when he's been on the field, he's been impressive. It's why nobody could figure out why the Chiefs were not allowing him to play more. I think they have something in Noel Williams, and this is why I didn't, the Sneed signing, I don't think Sneed is going to alter Noel Williams' opportunities. I really don't, playing this year. As long as the coaching staff gives him that opportunity, I think Noel Williams will end up being this team's number 2, number 3 snap count leader out of the cornerback room, out of the safety room, or the secondary room, I should say. I really believe that. I think when he was on the field, tell me that you weren't excited to see what the future holds
which is
for him.
Sometimes what's confusing about why I didn't see him on the field as much as in my brain I felt like he should have been on the field, And I'm assuming some of that is packages or matchups or some of the things that, factor into these decisions. But, like, I think he kind of needs to be a big swing player. It'd be easy for me to say Omar Norman Lott, or on defense, I think it's Noel, and I don't think there's much competition other than...
No, I do think it is somebody on the defensive line. Yeah, I mean, I think if we're saying just...
Because the other guys are rookies, so I'm not saying they were on the team last year making a big leap
forward. No, but if you're saying on defense, who has to have the biggest impact, take Chris Jones and Karlaftis out of it, and Mansour Delane, I know he's got a shoulder injury he's dealing with. They expect him hopefully to be ready for training camp. No, I think it'd be somebody on the defensive line for the reasons we've continued to bring up, which is outside of Karlaftis and Chris Jones, who do you know/trust who's proven to get after the quarterback? And so... The bigger swing guy that could give you an impact this year, to me, is somebody on the defensive line. Whether it's R. Mason Thomas, whether it's Omar Norman Lott, Ashton Gelati. Those players, to me, can have a much bigger impact. Even like as much as I'm excited about Noel Williams, I actually think if you told me one of the names I just mentioned on the D-line were able to have a breakthrough type of year, that does way more for the defense to me than Noel Williams just being steady as a corner for this team.
It does more, there's no doubt. I guess I'm just saying that I'm predicting I think Noel Williams will have the biggest jump from last year to this year.
Just because of playing time. Yeah, I mean, now someone said Noel Williams could be our number 1 corner. That's not happening, guys. That's a big problem if that happens.
Sixth
Mansour
overall
Delane
pick on
has
Mansour
to be.
Delane.
Mansour Delane has to be the number 1 corner. And if he's healthy, he's going to be the number 1 corner. I don't think that's even up for debate. We could debate about other playing time. Like, that's just, to me, like, go ahead and set that one in permanent marker. Go ahead and set that in stone. That's going to be the number 1 corner for the Chiefs in 2026 and hopefully for years to come.
It has to be. Honestly, even for this year. Like, as much as we say, like, well, sometimes somebody can come around to being the best pass rusher or whatever. If you spend the 6th overall pick on a corner, we already said they got to be a top 15 corner in the NFL this year, let alone the best guy in the Chiefs. He has to be the best guy in the Chiefs without question. Otherwise, I'm going to fear it's going the route of Okudah immediately. You want to talk about, like, I won't call for bust, but Gold, if he's not immediately good, I'm going to have serious concerns right away. I mean, right away. And you should, because a player like that shouldn't have to develop into being one of the best corners. He should just be one of the best corners. That's why so few of them are selected in the top 10. I will say, the history of corners taken in the top 10 is pretty good in recent history. It includes guys like Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner. I mean, it's some of the best corners. It is pretty much, of the 6 guys who've been taken there, it's like 4 All-Pros or 3 All-Pros, 2 Pro Bowlers, and Jeff Okudah. It's not like, it's a pretty good grouping of players in there. So I guess I don't fear it in a lot of other ways. Maybe some others would. But no, R. Mason Thomas and some of these other guys are important. And Verderame wasn't wrong there. They are banking a lot on Gelati, Omar Norman Lott, R. Mason Thomas, and Peter Woods. That's a
They put a lot of resources.
Group.
It's unproven, no doubt. It's an unproven group, but think about the draft picks that we just talked about. They have to say they haven't put resources into it would not be accurate, but it is still a massive question mark. Despite for 2 straight years they've spent, I wouldn't say ultimately premium picks, except for Peter Woods, but they have spent high draft picks, consistently on defensive line here the last year or two.
Yeah, it's so funny just because they're relying on it. Their entire plan on being better on the defensive line absolutely boils down to 4 rookies and second-year players being good.
Which is why I would
and not
still
all
want to
of them,
sign.
just like 1 or 2 of them.
Which is why I would still sign Cam Jordan. If he had interest and the Chiefs have interest, to me it makes a ton of sense.
When do we think, if they were to sign a guy like Cam Jordan, when do you kind of envision that taking place?
Like July 15th, July 20th?
I was about to ask, like right before training camp, right at the beginning of training camp. It is crazy. We're only like a month away from training camp starting. So like some of these players who are just sitting around, Debo Samuel and other guys, are going to have to be available.
What, 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing one of our first shows in St. Joe, like July 23rd, July 24th-ish. It's probably when we're up in St. Joe.
Yeah, give or take. By the way, somebody says, I need a video of Cody breaking the fence. The entire thing was streamed on YouTube, so it is on video.
There you go. Perfect. I do need that clip. Someone go find that, please. I want the clip of that.
It unfortunately is on video. They stream the event every year, so.
Perfect.
Yeah. I didn't mean to, Gold. I think that should count for something. It was not intentional.
Was there play-by-play?
Yeah, they have announcers. Somebody said they want you to do it one year. They have 2 announcers in the booth.
That could be fun.
There's always 2 announcers in the booth for the event. It's live stream on YouTube. They've got like camera crew and all that other stuff.
That could be fun. Yeah.
You know, get Gold out there for a little play-by-play for the first time, or color. You know, for the first time in a little while.
I'm down.
Stand up there for charity and do a little wiffle ball commentary.
I would do it.
I will say, Matt Beasler was the captain of the other team. That guy's just good at every sport. He just hits home runs in wiffle ball.
If you're
kicks my ass in a hot dog derby. U.S. men's national team soccer player.
Usually, if you're a world-class athlete, you're good at multiple sports, even if it's not your primary sport.
I will say, surprised he was there at the wiffle ball game, knowing it's in the middle of the World Cup.
It's day one.
In the conversations, I was like, "What's going on, Matt?" He's like, "Busy," and I was like, "I bet." I bet you are in high. He didn't say it that way. He's much nicer than that. But I was like, I imagine you're in a bit of high demand, seeing how you're a former Kansas City-based soccer player and the World Cup is here. I can't even imagine how many things he's been asked to be at, host, talk about. It's got to be 7,000 things.
Yeah, it's a busy month
Beasler's
for him.
been asked to
For
do.
him, any of these other guys, I'm sure Graham Zusi's been doing stuff as well. Any of these other guys that were part of certainly the World Cup teams in the past, or if you just played soccer in Kansas City, and I think I saw Tony Miola was doing an interview the other day. Remember that name?
Yeah.
So
I do remember that name.
Yeah, he played goalie here for a very long time.
Man,
back in the Wizards days.
I thought about that name in a while, but I do remember Tony Miola.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. We used to do a garage sale experience for wiffle ball. Maybe we'll bring that back.
Never know. You never know.
You know? It's we could bring that back at some point.
We're going to talk more about the World Cup. Fan Fest also, I think it's been really cool to see what's been going on in Lawrence with the community
just
session.
adopting Algeria.
The community session that they had, and Kansas, they had the KU marching band out there playing the Algerian national anthem. So they've just been all in. It's been pretty cool. We'll talk more World Cup. USA tonight against Paraguay. Don't forget, we've got our watch party tonight. So C-Dot and Rob, I just saw both of them. They're getting ready to head up to Parkville here in the next hour or two. They're going to be broadcasting live from the Peanut in Parkville. Starting at 2, they've got coolers and some other stuff to give away beginning at 2 o'clock. And then later on tonight at 8 o'clock, we're going to all watch the USA play. And Drew and I will be up there as well. And our watch parties this summer are presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. So looking forward to seeing people up there, and hopefully the U.S. gets this thing off to a very nice start. Hopefully just a nice, solid win against Paraguay tonight.
I would expect the energy to be similar to what it was for Mexico, South Africa, where they're going to come out of the gate flying, and it'll be one of those where hopefully they can get an early goal within the first 20.
That would be nice.
You went down to FanFest and you were talking about like having to wait 50 minutes to get in. Can someone explain to me in detail how it is the Royals, seeing how there was pretty much no rain, had a 2.5-hour rain delay yesterday?
I got a lot of texts about that.
They had Drew, they didn't do first pitch until 3:30 yesterday. There was one brief 15-minute rain shower, supposedly maybe a little bit of lightning in that time, although they didn't say lightning delay. They said rain delay. And then first pitch didn't happen until 3:30. It was crazy. I got a lot of text too, Gold. I guess that's why I was trying to figure it out.
How much did it rain over by FanFest?
I'm guessing... So
it rained for like 15 minutes,
so
20 minutes, right?
The reason why
the golf course.
The reason why it took us a while to get into FanFest yesterday and why it was 50 minutes and the line was long is because they stopped letting people in because of the lightning within 8 miles of FanFest. And so that was the issue. And then by the time we walked into FanFest, it started raining, and it was a steady rain for 15 minutes, and then the skies opened up and it was just hot and muggy, the rest of the day. So I don't know, how that impacted the Royals. I'm guessing the Royals was a lightning reason as well, because I know people were saying it was it was sunny and yet they were delayed. They
were watering the field before going on the field after the rain delay.
Had it been a
rain delay,
a lightning thing?
I guess I couldn't figure it out.
Well, we've got a meteorologist coming in studio at 1:00. We'll ask him.
Yeah, and it seemed like an insane delay. It did not make any sense. I was very confused about it. There were rumors that they were doing it because they didn't want to get stuck in a rain delay and then burn Waka, knowing that their bullpen was cashed because Lugo having to leave early. And this was all gamesmanship in a way to make sure that the rain was definitively clear and that there could have been a spot shower at this time. So why start it yet if the rain could come back in? Like, that was all the stuff I had randomly been hearing. It might have been the reason, but it was just weird. It just felt weird that there was that long of a rain delay for a game that wasn't raining.
I know, that's why I wonder if it was lightning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I'm not sure. I know people were frustrated by it, but I'm not sure. All I know is the weather also impacted FanFest for a brief period of time yesterday. Today looks like it's be perfect. Whether you're going to Kaufman, whether you're going out to FanFest, it looks like the humidity's down today, and it's going to be awesome weather for the first real big night of FanFest with Tech 9 concert later on tonight too.
You're going to go? Oh, no, you're going to the watch party.
I got our watch party. No, I'll be back out at FanFest a later date, but I will not be out there tonight. We got the stuff at the Peanut. A lot of people are asking, and I think it's a fair question. Drew and I were wondering this as well. We've got USA Paraguay. They want to know, are you wearing a Paraguay jersey tonight?
No, I'm not wearing a Paraguay jersey.
Okay.
I don't own a Paraguay jersey.
But people were saying if you did buy a jersey, you would buy that instead of the USA jersey based on your prior comments.
I said that Italy was a good team to root for in the World Baseball Classic.
Cody, I can get you one.
What's that?
$100 at Dick's Sporting Goods. I can get you one.
A Paraguay jersey?
Yep.
$100.
I love how you said it. $100 and I can get you one at Dick's. He doesn't need you if you're, If
you're just getting is your mom getting a discount?
Is that a discounted number?
Yeah, is that a discounted number?
I wasn't going to say
discounted number. Now
wait, hold on. The discount works even if she's not here?
Who cares? Sounds like Drew's got the hookup.
You could just get a discount for us whenever?
Where were you when I was buying a basketball?
Okay, good to know.
Those basketballs, by the way, are stupid.
The cost of
basketball is stupid.
Do you realize what inflation's hit on the basketball market?
It's unbelievable.
What do you think a good quality basketball?
Yes,
$65.
That actually is a pretty solid guess, but no,
it's not bad. That's a lower tier basketball.
Higher.
90?
Yeah, 90 to 120.
For basketball, it's unbelievable.
Seems insane to me.
It is, Cody. It is.
That is wild.
10 years ago, basketballs were probably a basketball that's $100 now is probably like $35 or $40.
I mean,
about 10 years ago.
That is crazy, but also, 10 years ago, my Chipotle also was $6.85, and it's
what is it now?
Was it?
I'm exaggerating. It was probably $8. It's like 12 now.
Yeah.
And that's with just water.
That's right.
You're not even getting anything good out of it.
Yeah,
I'll be rooting for the United States.
You will be? Okay.
Good to know. I'm glad you could clarify that you're rooting for the U.S. Thank you. Good to hear, Cody.
Just in case people were worried.
Up next, let's get to what's trending, then we'll get back into the future of the Royals a little bit. A couple players that you are confident or not confident in, and then we'll talk more about the World Cup. FanFest yesterday, some tips. I was out there, and what we expect from the U.S. in this World Cup next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game. Here's how it works, because sometimes, your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. You want to look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When your AC starts breaking down, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles it all from AC repairs and upgrades to indoor air quality. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Hey, DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, a.k.a. Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Sun Cruiser is the official ready-to-drink canned cocktail of the U.S. Open and U.S. Women's Open. We're excited to bring our vodka iced teas and lemonades to golfers and drinkers everywhere, and support these two prestigious championships and their fans with a refreshing Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Crisp, clean, and no carbonation for the perfect sipper on the course. Join us for the U.S. Open watch party with special giveaways on June 18th and 19th at Minsky's locations. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for details. Please drink responsibly.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
The final is here and both teams are set, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. Last week, New York was trading at 54% to beat San Antonio, meaning a $100 trade could pay out over $186 if they take the title. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market, and as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. KALSHI Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk. It may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, World Cup is underway. USA gets their first match later on tonight, 8 o'clock our time. They will take on Paraguay. Don't forget, we have our watch party at the Peanut in Parkville. Actually, CDOT and Rob are headed out there right now. They're going to be doing their show starting at 2 o'clock. All kinds of giveaways there. Don't forget, watching the U.S. Watch parties are presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. We've got a couple of these planned throughout the summer. This one, as again, is at the Peanut in Parkville. Drew and I will also be up there tonight. There's another one next Friday afternoon, where I think Bob, Mac, and Dusty are going to be at that one. So we'll sprinkle around. But if you want to come out, hang out tonight in Parkville, if you live up north already, it won't be too far for you. And we'll watch the U.S. hopefully get first win out of the way.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals did drop their series to the Rangers 4-2. Walker gave up all 4 runs. They scored 2. Cags had 2 more hits. But they'll start a series tonight against the Astros. It'll be Luinder Avila on the bump tonight. I think it's the beach towel.
City Connect
giveaway.
beach towel.
City
tonight.
Connect beach towel. I told you I wanted to snag one, but I won't be at the game. So
I do want one of those as well.
Well, if you score 2, I'll let you boy. Either way, the Royals starting a new series tonight against the Astros.
We mentioned the trade earlier today. Yesterday, the news that Wanye Morris was traded to the Falcons. Remember, he essentially wanted out, and then the Chiefs obliged, and the Chiefs send him to Atlanta along with a 7th-round pick. They get back a 6th-round pick. So it's almost a pick swap. I think for Atlanta, it makes a lot of sense. You get a guy with experience. For the Chiefs, Wanye Morris was no longer part of their plan of the future, and it tells you they're pretty confident, I think, in Jalen Moore and Esapole and maybe even Ethan Driscoll and some other guys that they were going to all be ahead of Wanye Morris on the depth chart. So it's not a nothing trade, but it's still a fairly minor move to get a 6th-round pick that adds to their arsenal of picks for next year, that maybe they end up moving this to move up a few spots in the draft next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to say the least, but obviously they weren't worried to let go of Wani at the moment. Next up on What's Trending, the NFL has concluded its investigation of Kansas City Chiefs defensive backs coach Dave Merritt and found insufficient evidence of a violation of the personal conduct policy. Yes, that does apply to coaches, not just players. That's according to Mike Garafolo. So there will be no discipline from the league for Dave Merritt.
Next on What's Trending, we mentioned this with our guest Matt Verderame earlier, but news out of Denver, Broncos edge rusher Jonathan Cooper was arrested again last night on 4 additional charges stemming from violating the protection order that was placed against him. Of course, troubling news for the Denver Broncos, one of their talented pass rushers. The latest from 9 News out in Denver is that Cooper's attorney argued Cooper had the right to contact the girlfriend yesterday because the order was not a no-contact protection order. Said none of the 11 text messages sent by Cooper around 3 o'clock were threatening and characterized as harassment. The judge mostly agreed lack of no contact on protection order, did not allow Cooper to make contact with the girlfriend. However, the judge did put no contact stipulation in place starting now.
Oh, so he was like ahead of the no contact. We'll see what happens with it. He continues to just not get it, at least in this end. Don't contact the person, I think, is probably your best move going forward. Next up on What's Trending, the NHL last night, the Hurricanes now just 1 win away from a Stanley Cup win. They got a 6-1, or no, I'm sorry. Did they not win last night?
Yeah, they won 4-2, I think.
Oh, 4-2. I just had the wrong.
The Hurricanes,
3 in a row.
The Hurricanes have the lead in the series.
So just 1 win away now from maybe capturing the Stanley Cup Finals. And Game 5 that could wrap up the NBA Finals will be tomorrow night at 7:30. That game will, of course, be in San Antonio.
Yeah, we're getting set for also the first World Cup match of the day. I'm watching on the TV in here that Canada begins their World Cup.
Bosnia, right?
Yep. In Bosnia. That game is in Toronto, I believe. Have you seen the scenes? We were just watching it in the streets. It looks like downtown Toronto. I believe that's the shot they were showing.
Is it on Big Fox?
Yes. Just streets filled with people walking towards I assume, the stadium there with Canadian flags everywhere. Anyway, pretty cool scene that they were just showing on Fox. Cannot wait to see what the scene's like tonight for the U.S. As well.
In LA?
That's yes, I believe that's right. Okay. SoFi Stadium or LA Stadium, whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's what's trending, by the way, here on Cody and Gold. We'll talk more World Cup here in about 8 minutes or so as it pertains to the U.S. and what we're kind of expecting. We were talking to Rob during the break just about the betting. I will tell you this, for those of you that want to partake in betting during the World Cup, you might want to hop on the FanDuel app today. Might want to hop on there. They got a 1,000% boost. What that means is it's similar to what they did for the launch day of everything. So essentially, tonight on FanDuel, if you go on there in your app, everybody has it in their app, you have a $25 minimum wager, or maximum wager, I'm sorry. But if the U.S. gets one shot, which is going to happen, so it's basically free $25. So hop on the FanDuel app today.
Yeah,
for sure. It's your free cash.
Simple. Yeah.
It's not that complicated. Let's talk a little Royals baseball. Not the rain delay that didn't have any rain, but instead kind of where the future of the team is. I don't want to talk about yesterday's individual performance, and there aren't going to be a lot of individual games to break down for the team right now until they can get closer back to 500. But I think this is what's probably frustrating about this year's team and does still give me some hope for future Royals teams is I was asking myself the question, I think, which is what a lot of us ask, which is, how many of these players for the Royals are you confident are a part of the younger part of the under control core? I think in the position player thing, it's fairly easy. I feel good about Vinny and Michael Garcia still, and I'm feeling great about Jack Caglione right now. I can't imagine why you wouldn't. Carter Jensen. Most of these guys appear to be nice, solid, big league, maybe better than that, big league players who would lock up a really nice core. Bobby Wood, it's like you got 5 guys that you feel like building around should not be a problem. The pitching staff is where I came up short. Because if I ask you my confidence scale of 1 to 10 on Noah Cameron being a really good starter for the Royals for the next couple of years, 3-4 years, like a 6? It's 7 maybe if I'm feeling like on the right day. You might catch me there. His recent run here, coupled with last year's, making me think maybe this is closer to who he is. Luinder Avila is a complete incomplete. I wouldn't even give it a number. 4. I don't know. Like, it is a complete wild card. He's had 2 good statistical starts in a row, but he's also had walk and control issues, which would normally lead to eventually a bad start or 2 and could erase would have been 1-run performances over the last 2. There's no one in the bullpen. I'm just locking in for the rest of the way, right? It's all that feels like, in a lot of ways, I hate to say it, but the bullpen feels like a teardown in the offseason and a restart.
Needs to happen, yep.
In a huge chunk of the way. So I think, but it's weird because I say that, Gold, what part of the team are you more convinced they could fix? Pitching? It's like the one thing they've been able to do pretty consistently.
This regime has done a very nice job with pitching, certainly at the big league level. Brian Sweeney deserves a lot of credit for that. The question, I think, for many, many years now has been, the hitting side of it, hitting development and improving on hitting in season. And I'll say this, and this is, even though it's somebody that I told you I don't think really should still be in his role, but, Alex Zumwalt, with now Cags that he's hitting the way he is, that's great news for him individually.
Yeah, it's a feather in his cap now. Yep.
Because Jack Caglione is somebody he and the other hitting coaches have worked with. So that's a positive in his
for sure.
resume moving forward, and would be probably used as a strong argument from some that why he deserves to still be the hitting coach moving forward. I think. The frustrating thing for a lot of fans is you're right. You go through the core group, and I think we all acknowledge Bobby and Garcia and Jensen and Cags and Vinny moving forward. But then people would say, okay, if you have that, then where are the wins, where are the results, and who does that fall on? And it's more than fair. And this is why it's never one particular person. I mean, this is why it's more than fair to be critical of the front office. It's more than fair to be critical of Q at times as well.
And
not in
in
every circumstance, but yeah. And so I'm with you. The problem is, Cody, if we acknowledge that the bullpen's a disaster, and we acknowledge that the offense, despite some positives right now with Cags and some others, I haven't looked at the updated number. We can double check, but they have, for most of this year, been bottom 5 on offense, and I still think they're right there. So if we think they're the worst bullpen or bottom 2 bullpen and a bottom 5 offense, and then you wake up and they're 28-41. Well, yeah, no kidding. That's a bad baseball team if you are that bottom tier in 2 massive areas of a baseball team, offense and bullpen.
That's a bad combo. And that's what I think, like the offense sometimes, it's so confusing because of thinking about the guys I just mentioned. Even like Michael Massey's having by second baseman standards, a pretty good year. Not just by his standards, but by like normal production from a second baseman. You're getting more out of him than a lot of other people. And you're like, and you got Bobby, right? Okay. And now Cags is hot. Okay. It boils down to still one stat on offense. They are the second worst team in Major League Baseball with hitting and runners in scoring position. Meanwhile, you might say, well, how many at-bats have they had? Like, are they somewhere near the top? They are. They've had the 11th most at-bats with runners in scoring position. So they're just constantly standing up there in Major League Baseball with runners on, like more than 2/3 of the league, Gold. They stand on there with runners on, and they hit the worst. And you and I have talked about the flaw of batting average as a statistic. Not when it comes to runners in scoring position. That to me, that's just the stat. You are what you are at that point. And so, statistically, on average, and the problem is bad on base percentage, bad slugging percentage. They're just not good at, slugging. It's worse. They're dead last. 346 slug. So someone gets on the base. They don't ever run into a homer or a double or a triple. And that inevitably, their schedule and their season feels like the Twilight Zone. The last 2 games I just watched them lose, and the game that they won, feel exactly the same as every single game I've watched.
It's happened all year.
All year. It feels exactly the same.
No, it has happened all year, and it's the same kind of schedule to the point where, how many times, and it's not being critical of him because we've talked with him off air about it too. Dusty, the Royals will win a couple in a row and he'll say, hey, you guys buying back in? We're like, Dusty, they can lose 2 or 3 in a row and they're right back in the same spot. And here we are. They've lost 2 or they're about to, hopefully not lose 3, but they're in danger of losing 3 in a row. And so you're right back to being 13 games or whatever, or 12 games under 500. And it's when you dig this kind of hole, you can have a nice stretch where you win 5 of 6. Great. But you can't afford to then go drop 3 or 4 in a row. That's where they've put themselves. And it's a reality of the 2026 season. And I don't believe that they can get out of this hole ultimately. And I don't think the team as a whole is good enough this year now to get out of that hole.
They have to pitch so well out of the bullpen the rest of the way. And with who? It's put together by duct tape at this point. It's Urseg who can't get the outs. It's Estevez who's just not available. It's Lang who wasn't even expected to be a major part of your bullpen, now pitching in high leverage. I mean, Mason Black threw the other day in a game in which he pitched pretty well and at least kept him in the game, considering the fact that Seth Lugo had gotten hit in the head with the line drive, and now they're having to overcome that. They've lost innings from Reagans, innings from Bubic. They're going to probably lose some innings from Lugo because of that injury, would be my guess. I don't think he's headed to the IL at the moment, but he might miss a start. And so, as you go through it, it's too much to overcome coupled with poor play. The injuries are not the reason they've lost, but they're certainly not going to help them get out of the hole either, if that makes sense, Gold. They're not the reason why they're 28-41, but they might be the reason why closing that gap might be insurmountable, because you still can't just rely on the horses that got you there because they're not available yet. Reagans isn't available yet. Bubic could be. He's going to make one more rehab start, I think, tomorrow, today. I don't know.
Okay.
Sometime in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend.
Yeah, Tuesday's when he started, so it should be Saturday or Sunday. He'll make another rehab start. And if that goes well, I guess he'd be available by later next week. That's another week of games you got to play without another one of your starters, which means you can't even rely on bumping Avila down to the bullpen if you thought that was the plan, or, you can't even maneuver guys around to try to strengthen other areas until you're healthy. You're not healthy. And so that part's going to just kind of go into it, but we'll see. Meanwhile, tonight, we got an actual World Cup match with the United States. So Paraguay, they are favored, obviously, to win that match.
The U.S. is.
The U.S. is favored to win the match. I'm curious for two factors. We can talk about the team individually here in just a minute, because the U.S. men's team has been massively disappointing in their entire history. But because this is a U.S. match, I want to see what the city's like, Kansas City's like, with the U.S. on the screen. What's Power and Light look like? What does the Fan Fest look like? What are the major gathering areas in the city? What does the Peanut look like tonight? I am curious to see what the places in Kansas City look like, knowing that this is going to be the first time we get a U.S. match while the World Cup's being played, other World Cup matches are being played in Kansas City. There's no match to go to. You're not missing something in Kansas City you're not going to a different World Cup match, if you get the point. But I'm fascinated to see how it goes. The actual U.S. team, I have not met a single person who has any optimism that they can do anything other than get out of the group. I've not heard a soul, Drew. No one. Not a commentator, not Rob, not even the most optimistic U.S. men's soccer team fans saying they think they're going to do anything other than they're just getting out of the group stage.
I think it's because we're not in those win you keep going or win or you're done situations. The knockout stages. They haven't been able to give us enough of a sample size of winning those matches. So I feel like it's just based on previous viewership of it. Is we're not. The expectation is they get out of the group and whatever happens after that is gravy. It depends on the draw as well for the knockout stage. I mean, if they can get to the round of 16, then you win one of those knockout stage games. So I think that would be nice for them, but I don't know. It's hard to have expectations of them actually doing something based on what we've seen them do previously.
Yeah, the bar is set very low. And they've set their own bar, but it's set very low. And the biggest thing is avoiding embarrassment on your home soil, as in not getting out of the group play. Can't happen.
A draw today would even feel bad, I would say.
Yeah, simply cannot happen.
It's crazy. They're getting ready to do a rebuild again. They just lost their coach again.
He already is done.
The guy barely took the job.
So it's hard to call it a rebuild, though, because it's all going to be the same player. It's all going to be the same players. It's because it's not like you're rebuilding the roster or anything
but
like that.
But I think when we talk about rebuilding a world stage, it is program and the way that you're handling the coaching staff. You can rebuild in more than one way for a national team, I guess.
You want some consistency of the manager over the course of multiple World Cups, not just coming in for a year and a half or however long Poch has been in there and then him leaving afterwards.
I'm definitely excited for it. I mean, I'm excited for our watch party. And to answer your question, I do think the sites around the city and saw the crowd at FanFest yesterday there just for the Mexico match, and it was a pretty good crowd, but I'll put a percent. I would guess it was half of what it's going to be like tonight and Saturday when the U.S. is playing, for obvious reasons, right? So I think it's going to be awesome. We'll see ultimately how the team performs. I do think one of the cool stories already just out of the World Cup, if anybody's been following at all on social media, we know we got the base camps here in KC, and then just outside of the metro area, you go out to Lawrence, and that's where Algeria is. And the city, and they fully embraced the whole experience. It's been pretty cool. I'm not just saying this because I'm a KU guy, but it has been very, very cool that both the national team clearly is trying to get involved in the community there, and also the university and the city has been very much involved. The video that was out, today or yesterday, where the Algerian, that was a couple days ago. Yeah, the older guy saying, thank you for choosing. That was cool. Thank you for choosing Algeria. No, that was very cool. That went international. But I'm talking about that they went and they were at Allen Fieldhouse and they were kicking field goals at the booth, and they were at Rock Chalk Park for their community session. But they actually let kids on the grass to pass the ball around with some of the players. That's not happening with the other national teams in some of these other cities. And so it's just very cool. The KU band learned the national anthem of Algeria.
Why not?
Little details, but it's cool to see the embrace. It's been one of the real positive stories so far in the World Cup. And look, Algeria plays 2 matches in Kansas City. The first one is going to be against Argentina. Good luck. But then they've got Austria, which could be a deciding game to see who maybe that decides who gets out of one of the other teams out of the group. I don't know. Maybe it's a match that doesn't have any bearing on the group. We'll see. That'll be another match. But it's been cool to see the reaction to that. And remember, England's still not here, right? The Netherlands is here. I think we're waiting on England still to get to Kansas City. That's happening tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah, it's like they're really holding out. They're not trying to get here anytime soon.
It's kind of weird though how the schedule I would have thought that there being more teams that you'd see more matches, but it feels like we're getting, we're slowly building our way up to really next week is when things really start going.
What's the updated
for the games?
Updated ticket prices for the Kansas City matches. This is just going to be. I'll just pick our third-party site just for the sake of it. We'll go StubHub just because it's a popular one. Here we go. Argentina, Algeria. This is just the get-in price. Still, they've dropped a little bit, but not as much as I'm sure a lot of people are hoping. Just to get in the door, it's still going to run you with fees $851 to get into Argentina, Algeria, which is kind of crazy to say the least. Ecuador, Curacao. To get in the door, 2 tickets with fees on StubHub, $393. Downstairs looks like $488. We'll get you downstairs. And then for Tunisia, Netherlands, Drew and I are going to that match. That is on the 25th. 2 tickets to get in. That'll run you $385 and about $570 to go downstairs. And then the last one, Algeria, Austria, which is going to be the cheapest one if you're trying to get out to Arrowhead. $249 to get in. Downstairs, $294.
If you haven't gone up a little bit, if you haven't picked a match yet, that's the one that's going to be a really good match. Algeria and Austria, they're the cheapest too. They're only like four rankings apart in the rankings. They're 24th, I believe, or 25th is Austria, and then 28th is Algeria. So that might be arguably the best match in terms of just competition.
I get it, yes,
the ones that are in Kansas City until the round of 32.
I think, as Gold pointed out, though, it might unfortunately be that it doesn't matter at all.
Sure, I mean,
what happens?
It's the second to last.
You went to one, and to say that you're seeing players that play in the top leagues in the world. I mean, that's a good price.
It's the second to last match in all of the group play, like across the entire tournament. There's one other group match.
There could be nothing on the line.
Or it could mean a lot, right? Like I guess there is a scenario. Exactly. Upsets happen. Maybe it turns out to be a match that winner goes on. Otherwise, who knows? But I think for a lot of people, that match, what's nice, if you're just trying to say you went to a match and you want to experience it, and you're say, hey, I'm not spending $800, $600. Okay, I'll spend $200, which, by the way, I'm not saying $200 is not a lot of money either, but some people can say, I can pull off $200 maybe, and you go. Right now, I'm going to one. Depending on how my experience is at the Netherlands match, I might decide to go to that Algeria-Austria match as well. I don't think there's any way I'm going to make it to Argentina. I'll be honest. That thing would have to drop to like
round of 32.
The Argentina match would have to drop to like $400 to get me to go, and I don't think that's happening.
I think the answer is yes. Do you think Power and Light gets shown tonight?
Oh, yeah.
On Big Fox.
It does. Well, I don't know. It does even before they were hosting.
They may not show, because the official thing is they're going to show FanFest before they show Power and Light now, is my guess. Because that's the official FIFA thing.
Yeah, actually,
they'll show FanFest, not as, you won't see the P&L shots the way we have, because now we have an actual FanFest with the Liberty Memorial, and the bigger crowd will be there than at P&L.
But they'll still show Kansas City.
Oh, of course.
Well, Kansas City, that's part of the reason these shots they used to show Power and Light is part of the reason, dead serious, Kansas City got it. Is because they had proven over a long history of time a willingness to support soccer.
Yeah, it's been cool for years, and now we're taking advantage of it. And like I said, FanFest, the setup and what they have done there is phenomenal. You got to check it out. I will say, leave very early, as I documented kind of the situation yesterday. You definitely want to leave earlier than you're thinking, and be prepared to wait a little bit, maybe on the way back for the buses. The way there was pretty simple.
I think the odds for the U.S., because I was looking at some of the futures, I couldn't find anything to get out of the group, but to get to the round of 16, I think was plus, for the U.S. was plus 150, plus 250, something along those lines. I think to win one of the knockout stage games.
All right, up next, let's get back into Texas Tech a little bit. They're still talking. They can't shut up. They still think everybody's out to get them.
Yeah,
we'll discuss the ongoing saga involving Brendan Sorsby, plus the random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
When you need electrical services, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles it all, from generators, electrical panels, home lighting, and much more. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This summer, grab a truly hard seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
As world soccer hits the big stage, take the field with Fanatics Sportsbook. It's built for fans who want more from their bet. This summer, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every moment count with 10 100% profit boosts over the first 10 tournament days. That's one profit boost per game day. So every time the world's best hits the pitch, you've got a chance to double your winnings. And every goal, every save, every result means more. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and we all know one universal truth. Dads love Smokehouse Barbecue. Whether you're hosting a massive family reunion or a tight-knit backyard bash, Smokehouse specializes in feeding everyone. And hey, if Dad insists on smoking the main course this year, don't sweat it. Get all your sides at Smokehouse. Hickory pit beans, cheesy corn, mac and cheese, all of that. Visit them today at one of their 3 locations, Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or at smokehousebbq.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Back here on Cody and Gold, hanging out on a Friday. We are about 25 minutes away from a Fan Club Friday starting up, 1 o'clock hour. We do it each and every Friday, thanks to our friends over at Jay Rieger & Co. Today's guest, first-time guest on the show, Jacob Lanier, meteorologist over at Fox 4, will join us in studio. We'll talk some World Cup. We'll talk a little Royals baseball. Obviously, we're going to talk some weather and what the hell's been going on with it. It feels like we're having severe weather every 2 days in this town. Something like that. People are mad about rain delays yesterday. I don't know. We'll get into all that kind of stuff.
Honestly, there's plenty of weather to talk about. I didn't get to watch any part of. I watched the NBA Finals like this. I watched Game 1 like this.
Oh, you're going to ask him about the split screen stuff? Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Can I opt out?
I mean,
it's not even a knock on Jacob. I'm just saying, can I have a choice?
You technically could have if you'd just gone to the ESPN app. You would have been able to. Opt
that
out,
wasn't on their station. They're Fox affiliate. They have, to my knowledge, they haven't been the ones doing the split screen stuff.
So you're worried about
split screen. It was
Cody. So you're going to ask him. You're going to ask Jacob. To be sure that they don't double box things and they make the game that matches the small ones.
I just want an option.
Fox.
If it's in St. Joe, I should get an opt out.
I want to know, what is the plan though if we get severe weather during a U.S. World Cup match on Fox?
Man,
what's the plan? Yeah,
I think they would have to go double box, but make it even. I don't think you could make it small like.
At least give me the double box.
He's gonna text me like, actually, I'm unavailable now to come in. You guys are now gonna.
I also want to ask why it feels like it's been so stormy.
Well, that's fair to ask. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Crazy.
He would know it better than us.
Feels like we've had a lot of it.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll get to a random question of the day coming up in a few minutes as well. But you'd mentioned, Texas Tech at this point, it's embarrassing. This is embarrassing. What alternate universe are you living where 99.9% of society is against you, and you've just decided that you must be in the right. There is not a soul that agrees with you on this planet, seemingly, Gold. Not one. Not one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Texas Tech, they're just so far into this thing now. They've dug their heels in. They're deep in it. They're not going to suddenly pivot and wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? Everybody else was right. Out of the respect for the rest of college football, Brendan Sorsby, we're not going to let him play either. Like that day is not happening. It's going to have to be forcefully taken away from them at this point, But they also cannot then claim that they understand that the college landscape's a mess and we're trying to fix it while also doing this, because we are talking about the biggest concern for the sport is the integrity of the sport and whether or not a quarterback is going to throw a game or anything like that. That is the worry. And you're now allowing players that play college football to bet on the sport they play, is what you've basically told everybody. And
is that the standard you want to set, Texas Tech?
In Tech, it might be good for you right now, but it's a one-year thing. Brendan Sorsby's gone after this year.
Is it kind of crazy to sell your soul for a guy who's never even played a snap for your program?
Yes.
Right?
Considering he's not, and it's not like Brendan Sorsby is generational.
I borderline would, I would.
He wasn't even the best quarterback. He wasn't even the best one in the portal this offseason.
I would borderline guarantee, I would almost understand their logic more if it was for Reggie Bush or
Cam Newton.
Yes. I'd almost kind of be like, look, you're idiots still, but I get it. At least you're protecting this generational guy who's been in your program this whole time, and you're trying to stand up for your guy. He's never played a snap for you. And I think it's all based on this idea of they thought this was Texas Tech's year, and that they're just so locked into the possibility. If they thought they were talking trash to Texas, they just thought, oh, we're getting ready to take college football by storm, and they thought Sorsby was the guy who was going to put them over the top. And they can't let that dream die now, and instead they're embarrassing themselves. They're releasing 21-minute roundtables with the coach and Cody Campbell and the AD. It's embarrassing. Just shut up and hope everyone forgets.
Can I also say,
or cut him.
In general, I get where we're at in college sports, especially college football, and you need high money donors to make this work nowadays with NIL. Can I say the fact that Cody Campbell, who again is extremely successful as a businessman and everything, clearly, okay, and has done extremely well for himself and has more money than any of us can possibly fathom. Okay, fine.
Yep, agreed.
The fact that we all know his name is a freaking problem. Cody Campbell should not be front and center of the college football debate, but this jerk is rich as hell, and suddenly he's influencing everything.
He's doing the most talking.
You can have money and be out of the way.
Correct. He's doing the most talking, whether it's... Because I know that Joe McGuire had said the whole deal, but Cody Campbell voiced his opinion about that. He's called out LSU.
He's too involved, but this is what money gets you.
He's bringing up Penn State.
He's called out LSU. He's called out Penn State. He's doing podcast stuff just for himself. Joey McGuire, the head coach of the football team, isn't even talking as much as Cody Campbell is.
Do you know why? Because there's no one, very few people in this world don't have somebody they have to answer to. He has no one to answer to. There is no voice in the room, Drew, that can tell him no.
But this is no repercussions for Cody Campbell either.
No!
The other, Joe
if the whole
McGuire
program gets kicked or they stop scheduling Texas Tech, what happens? Does his business fail? Does he lose his billions of dollars? No, he gets to keep all of that. Nothing changes. He just hurts the program. The end.
Yeah, Cody Campbell is the chairman of the board of regents for Texas Tech. He's the co-founder and co-CEO of this energy holdings company. He's worth, I don't know, what, $1 billion or more?
I think it's more than that. Yeah.
Couple $1 billion.
Several billion.
People asking if they pull him if Mahomes said something about it. I don't think Mahomes will.
Mahomes not getting involved in this. He's not getting
There's no chance.
We've all been around Patrick Mahomes enough. He is way too smart, and no, absolutely not. He's not getting involved in this whatsoever. I would love for somebody to ask him about it. I mean, I think it's a fair question to ask his opinion on the school that he is not only an alum from, but also remember, the Mahomes logo. They're a Mahomes school, right?
Adidas school.
It's no different than being they're a Nike school or a Jordan school. They're a Mahomes school. It is more than fair for him to be asked the question. I'm not expecting him to say much, but I think it's a question that has to be asked the next time somebody has a chance to talk to him.
Do you support
By the way, Cody Campbell,
net
worth $6 billion.
I would really say also that if he was asked about it and said no comment immediately, I think that automatically
That's not
would
support.
tell you that he's not in favor of what's going on. I think that you can infer that.
I agree that implies
my guess is
not support.
My guess is he would say something along the lines of like, I'm not going to really get involved. It's college sports is really complicated right now. Yada yada. He's not going to be like, yeah, I think he should play, and everybody else is jealous.
Believe it,
it's just like
it's not going to say that.
Some of it is just like the insanity. Like the collective insanity that exists in this. No one agrees with you. Does that not tell you something? Like, if you're a cannibal and everyone else is like, don't eat people, you don't, like, for a half a second at least know you're doing something wrong?
That was an interesting
What
comparison.
an example. Are you kidding me? That's where you went.
I was thinking about a really unpopular thing. That might be the only thing that less people agree on than Sorsby shouldn't be in college football.
Out of all possible examples, you went to cannibalism? Is it because we were talking about Cody Campbell and you thought cannibalism? Is that what happened?
I don't know how I got to the line.
What?
That wasn't my intentional line. I was just pointing out things as unpopular as an opinion. He was clearly just some rich daddy's kid. If I interviewed, I think my point is, if I took 100,000 people who had nothing to do with Texas Tech and I said, should Brendan Sorsby be allowed to play? I believe of those 100,000, 99,998 would say he shouldn't be allowed to play. And I think if I asked those same 100,000 people, should people be allowed to be a cannibal? I'll probably get 99,999. It's the same level of unpopularity, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. Mm-hmm. If the Chiefs are, by the way, looking at wide receiver, little NFL news, Adam Schefter reporting, as with the Dave Merritt situation, the NFL's closed out its review of the matter involving Stephon Diggs and his former chef, saying there's insufficient evidence to support a finding of personal conduct policy violation. So, if you're after Stephon Diggs, at least in the NFL circles, he won't be facing a suspension, Gold, I guess would be the point.
That is significant news.
That's not unimportant from a wide receiver. And
it is significant because whether it's the Chiefs or another team, if you're thinking about bringing in a veteran wide receiver like Stephon Diggs, you wanted to be sure, is there going to be any repercussion coming from the NFL? And that could make him ineligible for a certain amount of games, suspended, I should say, for a few games. And now the deck has been cleared on that. I'm not saying that the Chiefs should rush out and sign Diggs, but if they were considering it and they were worried about punishment, the NFL has cleared Stephon Diggs.
Do you think he gets signed sooner because of that? Just like within the next before other guys?
Cody asked the question
I still think he's
earlier.
like a camp guy.
I just don't know how teams approach it. Like, he's clearly not going to be able to do anything till camp anyway, so do you just wait till July to check in? I don't know. He could sign next week. He could also wait till the week of training camp. So we'll see. Some people are asking, some people disagree that someone should ask Mahomes a question. I guess it's a matter of opinion, but someone said he's not on the team is their point. I guess that's just not how this stuff works.
He's a spokesperson for that program.
I think it's fair to ask him the question.
They are a Mahomes school, literally a Mahomes school. His brand logo is on the field.
It was on the release when they said they should let the guy play.
His logo's on the field at Texas Tech. Just like, as I said, an Air Jordan school or a Jordan school, it's a Mahomes school. Eventually, there'll be other Mahomes schools out there if his brand continues to grow. Nobody's saying he's responsible, and he doesn't have to say a damn thing. But no, it is more than fair for the next time Patrick Mahomes has an open media session or an interview for someone to say, hey, what do you think of your alma mater? It's a Mahomes branded school. What do you think of how things are operating with Brendan Sorsby and the school's stance on that? And he can say, I'm not going to get into that, and that he has every right to say that. But to act like it's an unfair question, I'll be honest, that's not how this whole thing works. People expect, I don't know why, and this is a much deeper conversation, like why we expect, like, how dare you ask any question? Like, there's a reason why people ask questions. It's important to hold people accountable, or when people represent certain institutions, it's important to get their opinion on things.
I am very intrigued to see where it goes, though, because
he's the single biggest
one. All they're doing is, if they can get their way, and if other people are mad at them not being able to get their way and do something about it, then, we'll sue. We'll sue.
That's essentially what they're arguing here.
That basically is all they're doing is, we know with the way that college football is, we're going to just sue you. If nothing, if we're going to throw a temper tantrum and we're just going to sue you, and that's the way that it's going to go every single time.
The state's threatening to sue the Big 12 if they stop scheduling them, or other conferences if they stop scheduling them.
Which I don't know how that goes, and it's obviously some murky waters, but I don't think you can be Brett Yormark and know what is best for your conference. I know that you want to help the teams and protect the teams in your conference, but when you've got 13 of the 14 teams in your conference way against this, I don't know how you can just turn a blind eye and not do anything about it.
I guess I just, like, in so many ways, I just don't understand. And it's the blindness of it is like, it's just your institution and you're in your own little bubble, and we all are guilty of this at times. This idea that you can't see it. And look, what the text line is doing is similar to what, like, Cody Campbell's doing. All Cody Campbell's entire PR strategy for this entire thing is whataboutism. His plan, Gold, and I know you've called people out on the text line for it. His plan is, what about the murderers?
It's really embarrassing.
And the domestic violence and the drugs and the rape. And he's just mentioning all these horrible things that exist in this world. That's not what we're talking about, Cody. We're talking about your situation, which a guy bet on the sport while he was playing and shouldn't be allowed to play. We, Gold and I, last week, were talking about whether or not playing in the sport is a privilege or not. And Alex and I say it is a privilege. And that if you commit bad things, you shouldn't be given the privilege to play that sport. It's not an unlimited privilege to play the sport, no matter the action. And so,
but just because you're also, disagreeing with the ruling here does not mean that you're saying you're okay with domestic violence. I don't know why we're correlating. Again, that's why the whataboutism thing is a joke. And also, sadly, there isn't a rule that says domestic violence leads to you being ineligible to play college football. That rule does not exist. There is, in fact, a rule. Again, I'm just telling you what the rule is. That what Sorsby did is a rule that he's not allowed to be eligible. But the NCAA has no power anymore, clearly, and so they lost this, for now, court situation, and they're appealing, and we'll see how it plays out and if there is any sort of appeal decision before the start of the season. If not, Brendan Sorsby will play. So people ask me, why are you talking more about this? This is one of the biggest stories in sports right now. Sadly, you're right. We have had way too many instances of players that get DUIs or whatever, and it's not as big of a headline. You're right. That is sad.
Sadly, it's a little more common, and we're all used to it.
This is something that could tear down the entire sport. That's why it's a bigger story.
I think there was one, before we get to the random question, I think it was a Big 12 coach. Cody, this is something, not to throw you under the bus, but this is something I would expect you to say as an answer to this.
It might be true. I'm curious
The coach said, you know what I'm going to do? Fine. If this is allowed, I'm going to hold a meeting and tell all my players to bet. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick which games we want to try hard in, which games we're not, and we're going to bet the spread. My job is to help my players. I'm going to help them get some extra money by how we play games. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, it is kind of
of course, it's
way over the top.
It's way over the top, but that's where coaches are at, though. If this happens, you know what? My job is to help my players. This is what I'm going to do. Then, if this is okay.
What's crazy is that's essentially what they're not condoning, but they're saying would be okay. That the entire Kansas football team could go Gold. You know what? They don't have enough motivation to win under the normal circumstances. We'll put a little cash on the line. We're all going to bet. Everybody's going to take a little bit of their NIL cash. We're all going to put $5,000 on Kansas to win this weekend because I want you guys feeling that we got to win. It's not okay. It's not an okay thing to do.
Not at all.
It's also, and this is the other part that we don't talk about as it relates to one-on-one stuff, and I'm not trying to equate what is a worse crime. But the problem with stuff like what Sorsy's doing is it has, when you bet on the team or when you have an impact on this thing, you are doing it to a large group of people who also have a stake in this. For the same reason, Gold, I'm not allowed to rig a boxing match. Anybody who bets on the other side of the boxing match is getting screwed by my decision, not me just making money. I rig a fight, I'm hurting Alex, who might have the other person in it. It's an integrity thing. You can't, as a league, it's like the one thing no league allows. You can't bet on the sport. You can't. That's it. You just can't bet on the sport.
All right, let's get to the random question of the day real quick here. And then don't forget, coming up at 1 o'clock, we've got a Fan Club Friday brought to you by our friends over at Jay Rieger.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where you can interact with the show. Like and subscribe on Twitch. It'll pop right to the top of your feed. That way you don't miss any part of the show. I know Drew can't participate for a minute because he's letting our guy Jacob in. We'll get him back in. We'll tell him what the random question is when he arrives. The question I have for today is because my kids were asking to see some old photos. So
of you?
Kids are curious, right? They want to see it. And so we pulled out, it was probably a couple weeks ago, pulled out some yearbooks. One of the very few things I have. So I guess the question related to that is, how often do you find yourself looking through nostalgic things, or do you keep anything nostalgic? Because I own almost nothing. I have 2 singular yearbooks, both from middle school. I don't have a single one from grade school. They just somehow made a couple of moves. I don't own a single one from high school. I just have the 2 from middle school that still exist. And the only time they ever come out is if I'm with someone with middle school and we want to joke about it. So maybe once every 10 years, or if my kids were asking to see a photo of what we looked like when we were young. That's the only reason. Other than that, they just sit on a shelf collecting dust.
You've put your diploma in the garage sale before.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah, Do I still have yearbooks? Yes. Have I looked at them in years? Absolutely not.
What are you doing with them?
I don't know. They're back in my. Honestly, you want to know? They're in the closet at my parents' house in my childhood bedroom.
So
they're sitting in the closet. I know exactly where they're at, but I haven't. I mean, I have junior high yearbooks still. I think my parents have.
Letterman jackets.
Yeah,
you looking at any
kind
of like your old awards. How often are people, I guess, doing the nostalgia search? Stuff with your kids from when they were little. Yeah, photos maybe, but physical stuff. I feel like it's very rare for me. I don't know if I was in the minority.
I don't know if you're in the minority or not. I mean, I definitely have that stuff, but I don't like this. It's certainly not displayed, and I certainly haven't like looked at it in quite some time. I wonder if it's one of those things. Yeah, if I have kids or something, maybe at that point in time. I mean, my nephews have asked to see like what a photo like I looked like in high school or something before, and I guess then you pull out the yearbook. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. It's more that my mom was more like that, so that's why I wasn't like. She wouldn't want me to throw out that stuff still.
Yeah. So, like, she's still allowing you to store your... Yeah. So, like, let's just say your mom calls you this week. It's Saturday. She's like, Alex, I'm either throwing away these yearbooks or you can come pick them up. Saturday. Do you pick them up? Or you just let them go to the dump?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I would probably grab one of them. Be like, I'd grab like one or something of them, and I don't need my junior high yearbook. I don't need a junior high yearbook. What? Why? For what?
I don't know. I guess you could.
I would want one high school.
You can see who told you to have a kick-ass summer.
Yeah. Like I would keep my. Keep my like senior year high school yearbook. I think I would want to just keep that to have.
I don't think I ever had that.
Oh well.
I could be. I wasn't in.
Fill me in.
I'm not kidding. My senior yearbook. This is by the time you can tell me how checked out I was. I was talking about how often you find yourself looking through things of nostalgia or owning things of nostalgia for that purpose. So we're talking about like yearbooks or some other things.
When I visit my parents.
When you go through stuff because you're in there. I'm not kidding. My senior year of high school, I was so checked out. This is why probably the diploma's in there. I knew when picture day was, and I didn't show up. It's like I got other stuff going on, so I'm not even in the yearbook.
You just didn't go to picture day.
Nope.
All your brothers do this?
No, just me.
Why? You just were against the.
Didn't care.
This guy's a rebel out here.
Yeah,
I'm not a rebel. I just didn't care. There's other photos of me in the yearbook, just not the portrait one.
I think you didn't want your picture taken, and you said, "Nah."
I'm in every other yearbook up to that
this.
point. I think by that point, I had just largely checked out. I was no longer interested in pursuing this.
Let me ask you this: for your kids now, though, are you going?
At this point, I hold on to everything.
Are you going to keep like their artwork? Are you keeping eventually their yearbooks?
So every year, there's a giant pile of their stuff, and I go through all of it, and I throw a bunch of it away, and I keep some things that I think maybe they'll want down the road, and they go into a bin that slowly fills over time. When they hit a certain age, I can assure you, I'm going to give them the exact same thing I just told you, which is, do you want this? And if you don't, I'm not holding on to it forever. I will hold on to the 2 or 3 or 5 meaningful things, right? We have a small Tupperware thing, right? That has like a couple of outfits my wife doesn't want to get rid of, or those. It's fine, but I don't look through them. So it's also like, what am I holding on to this for?
I think people,
in a way, it feels just like I'm just like stashing it to like maybe look at it one day.
I think honestly, the sad part about it, I think it's more like when you're really old or when somebody passes away. I think
when you're looking for photos for the slideshow. I mean,
sadly, I think it's that.
That's part of it too. Well, I'm assuming, Cody, you'll collect it until just like your kids check out and they don't want to be a part of the yearbook picture either. And they're like, yeah, Dad,
here's the thing, man. My parents didn't force me to, so I guess I got to honor the same thing. My mom asked me to graduate. That was the only reason I rented my gown.
My mom asked me to graduate.
So, I mean, look, I barely needed any classes senior year. So like I was taking, I mean, it might as well have been underwater basket weaving the entire senior year of high school. So like by the time it was all said and done, I didn't need much left in that department. But I think it was important to my mom to see me at graduation at high school.
Well, that's good.
I told you I had to rent the gown because I didn't purchase it. And it was a pretty close match to the color. It wasn't quite right, but it was close enough. Nobody noticed.
A lot of people don't think
Someone says throw it all away.
A lot of people are saying throw it away. The kids don't want it. I will say this. I don't think it's, for me, it's not necessary. Like, I don't need any of that stuff, but it is every now and then. Like, I might not, like, when I go visit my parents, I might not look at anything that's there. But if I, like, you know what, let me go, do you have that box of stuff? And you just go through stuff again. And you just for the sake of going through it. Like, I think it's always better to keep it just for the 1 or 2 times that you might go through it again.
I might be more nostalgic about, like, old games, like gaming systems or video games. It feels more tangible and something easy to hold. But I just have like a Raspberry Pi brick for those. I can just play those if I want to. It doesn't matter.
I was laughing. I was looking over the TV. We have Fox on the TV, and they're doing an aerial shot of the USA bus, I think, heading towards the stadium.
I saw that.
I'm laughing because it's like, what are we doing? Like an OJ chase over here. Like they're back onto the.
I saw one of the team buses driving down the highway had the police escort.
Oh, well, no, the police escort. I'm just saying, like on television, they have the helicopter above the USA bus
driving to the stadium.
That far, I was like, what are we doing here? Do we need that? I mean, no, okay.
It did feel a little OJ-esque.
All right, that's
still looking to get on a helicopter, Alex and I. So
it's true. If anybody has one,
you should find a time. If you guys could be on like a chase, then I mean,
maybe Lanier can get us a helicopter.
That'd be pretty epic.
They don't have a helicopter.
They've got a copter.
They don't do a copter.
They don't even like have the one that has like a timeshare between the two stations.
90% sure. We can ask him. I'm 90% sure. All right, up next, Fan Club Friday here on Cody and Gold. Jacob Lanier, meteorologist from Fox 4, going to join us in studio. We'll talk some Royals, some World Cup, obviously some weather next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great, because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, member FDIC.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes, or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
High energy bills? Can't get cool enough? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Put your trust in over 40 years' experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
The final is here and both teams are set, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. Last week, New York was trading at 54% to beat San Antonio, meaning a $100 trade could pay out over $186 if they take the title. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market, and as the odds move, you can buy in or out anytime. For limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code UPDATE to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. KALSHI Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk. It may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow the station on Instagram for daily videos like the Royal Decree, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Would You Rather Wednesday. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into the Fan Club.
Step 1, we buy into this club. Step 2, we roll over to the club, either in your Mercedes-Benz or my pre-owned Acura Legend.
It's not as much as a club as it is a couple middle-aged dudes in sweatshirts talking about sports.
Bounce, 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 bounce. Now all the ladies saying bounce, 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 bounce.
But you get the gist. Here's Cody Tapp and Alex Gold.
All right, it is a Fan Club Friday here on Cody and Gold, brought to you by our friends over at J. Rieger & Co. Final hour of the week. We always like to end it, perhaps maybe with a few drinks as well. Heading into the weekend, it's going to be really nice weather tonight, maybe to sit out on the patio or go to a fan fest. Hopefully you join us also in Parkville for a chance to watch the U.S. a little bit later on. Join us as they got their match tonight, and we will be at the Northland location for tonight's game. Looking forward to that. But in studio for the first time, we've got Jacob Lanier, meteorologist for Fox 4. You've never been on the show before, so welcome
Thanks
in.
for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to work later. Do you want to drink or do you have to abstain?
Oh no, I'll have it. I'll try. No, we always joke that we have like an unwritten company. You can have one on the clock.
For sure.
It's like.
Everybody in media,
limit.
I think in fairness,
Right.
it's like we all just kind of I've got a blonde ale. That one's kind of similar to that.
Oh, nice.
I think you'll like that, okay?
Cool.
But welcome in. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Yeah, this will be fun. I was telling Rob Collins, I guess a regular.
Of course.
Yes, Rob Collins has been a regular.
Yeah, I'm going over to the Fan, and he was like, "Why do they want you over there?" He was like, "You're going to talk weather," and I was like,
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. I was like, "I can talk World Cup, Royals."
Yeah.
Can you explain the Royals rain delay to me yesterday?
Oh, where it didn't rain? Did it rain out there? Yeah, sprinkles.
The zero rain delay?
It was lightning. Yeah, so it's a thing, and that's it didn't even lightning downtown, but they had to delay the Fan Fest too. FIFA Fan Fest had to delay opening.
50 minutes
It took us way longer to get in because once that happens, they stop all the
30
operations.
minutes.
30 minutes. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
so FIFA has this rule: any lightning in 8 miles or 30-mile-per-wind gusts which here is pretty easy to get to.
30 miles. That's
that's
a little
So
light.
it's the low threshold for like the stage and stuff, you know?
Okay, so now for the match though, and I'm sure you guys are keeping an eye on the forecast for next Tuesday with Argentina.
Yeah.
They do we ran into this with the KC Current last year. They do the wet bulb testing.
Oh gosh.
That's
yeah,
okay, can you explain that?
The wet bulb globe
So this is
temperature.
a thing that people
Yes.
people are gonna hear about though during the World
it's
Cup.
hot as hell.
Yes.
The Current had a huge issue
I
last year
know.
with it, and it's not their fault. It's a soccer thing, and FIFA uses it. So what is the? Can you explain the wet bulb?
The wet bulb globe temperature is essentially you take a thermometer and then it has this black bulb on it. I wish I could like show a picture of it. Kind of, I don't know. And then it measures and it's essentially taking out the humidity. So it's factoring it. So the heat index is temperature plus humidity. Okay. The wet bulb globe temperature adds wind and the sunshine. So the heat index is actually measured in the shade. So the wet bulb globe temperature takes in the sun rays and the wind speed and how it feels to the human body. And so that's a different threshold than the heat index. It's been used, the wet bulb globe temperature, I think, was invented by the military in like the 80s.
Wow.
And so military and sports have been using it for 30 years now, and the average Joe has no clue what it is.
Can they just drink more water?
Well, they have the water breaks built in.
Yeah, just do that.
They've got extra ones
So how
this
we
year.
pause and hold games
Well-
for wet bulb testing? Can't we just play?
And the catch is that FIFA, I think, has a different wet bulb standard than the National Soccer League and
Higher
National
or
Soccer
lower?
League. I think it's minute, but it's different. And so the formula itself is different. Like FIFA's like, no, we need to do it's probably like knots and Celsius, like all that stuff.
I guess what I think stands out, and I understand they run more in soccer. I've watched the sport. I understand. No other sport does this. I can go out there and have to play 60 minutes of a college football game in full pads. Nobody says it's too hot today. We're not doing it. Or baseball, or
It's more of a high school thing.
Yeah, and look, in high school it's different. They're kids. They're not professional. Okay, but like for a professional sport, in a lot of ways, it's like everyone else seems to manage to play with this heat.
Yeah, I get what those soccer, like you're not really stopping play, there's less play stoppage than you have in football.
Sure, but like I guess make a rule where they can do an additional substitution or something.
Oh, yeah.
Why just stop the match and force everybody into it? Like in the NFL, if the guy's more tired because it's August or September in Miami Heat, well, they just more defensive linemen rotate or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Soft. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling soccer players soft.
Wow. Great start.
They run a lot, though. So
they do run a lot. I should.
Yeah, the conditioning for the soccer players is absolutely insane. Are you excited for this, though? I know you guys at Fox are all in, of course.
Oh, you know it. Yeah. So, all the games are on Fox 4, so we're all going in. And I'm a big fan. Like, I'm not a massive soccer person. It's definitely not the first sport I would watch, but I'm totally in for World Cup and whatnot. I'm having fun rooting for like kind of the fun team, like Algeria, how they've been like going crazy, and
cool.
Lawrence has been fun, and Netherlands. So it'll be fun. I think I'm going to try to go down to FanFest maybe for the Argentina match Tuesday. So it's fun having all these international teams and travelers here in Kansas City, I think.
Yeah, no, it's been cool already to see. It's only going to increase. I mean, yesterday it was cool with the Mexico game and their fans showed up to FanFest. I can only imagine tonight and throughout the weekend as well. What's do you know, I'm putting on the spot, do you know, are we good on weather for this Argentina game on Tuesday? I know I had some texts from people yesterday. They're saying, this could be a little dicey Tuesday night.
Yeah, so the storm chance has trended up slightly for Tuesday. Right now it's like 40%. There's probably going to be some scattered storms around somewhere Tuesday afternoon. I'm hoping, I think is it an 8 o'clock kickoff?
It's a late one, I think,
Arrowhead?
isn't it?
It's a night match, Argentina. Yeah. So I'm hoping that'll help us a little bit, but it's going to be a thing. I would. Lightning impacts. I can't rule it out.
Oh boy.
So I think the bigger impact though is going to be tomorrow night for FanFest. We have the Chainsmokers. I guess the Brazil match is on tomorrow evening. There's going to be a big line. I was saying today, like the wind and the lightning threshold are easily going to be met.
There's got a ton to talk to you about, but we were joking earlier. It feels like this year more than ever, you guys are on extended coverage.
They change your
not just you guys.
Right.
This is not a shot at you. Every station's on way more. It feels like we've got split screens and all this stuff. People are annoyed. You guys were on for 6 hours straight at one point.
Right.
Is the weather pattern that active, like way more than it normally is? What's going on?
So no, we have not changed our protocols. So typically, and this is for us at Fox 4, every station in town, any tornado warning in the viewing area of Kansas City, so the designated market area, right? So Nielsen, the Federal Communications Commission, set this eons ago. I mean, I guess you guys are familiar with it as well.
Yeah.
But
we are.
We cover 44 counties, right? So we cover from Maryville by the Iowa state line all the way down to Warsaw at Truman Lake, all the way to Lawrence, all the way out to Marshall, Chillicothe. So it's a large area, okay? And any tornado warning in the area we have to go on the air to cover. And it's an FCC. It's a proof. Every year or two, the station is up for license renewal.
Sure, okay.
And when you go up for license renewal, they say, are you providing public safety and public service? And severe weather coverage is the number one thing at the top of the list they look for. And so if you're not doing that, they can fine you or ding you or just make it more difficult.
Because that's always the I think recently people are like, wait a second, we don't do news for St. Joseph, Missouri, but you guys do weather for St. Joe.
Well, and so the St. Joe market's really only 4 counties, and it's a cutout of our viewing area. So anything that's in a St. Joe county is heading back into one of our counties.
Gotcha.
It's like the Vatican. It's like 4 counties up there. Because what comes out of St. Joe heads into Cameron. That's back in our area. So it's just a hot mess.
So I need to talk to my legislators if I'd like an opt-out. If it's like a St. Joe tornado.
Cody wants the ability to push a button when you're, unfortunately for you, when you're on TV
and
be
turn
like,
me off.
I accept the risks.
Right.
I accept the risks. I'd like to watch the NBA game now.
Yeah, no, I think there should be a way. It's 2026.
I promise I have it on my iPad so that, I don't miss it.
Yeah, well, and, and that's the thing, too. Like, we're streaming our weather coverage also, for free on our website and our streaming apps as well, right? So there's other places people can go. I don't know. I kind of agree with you that, maybe 70 years later, we should revisit the DMA rules that were set up in the 1940s or 50s when TV and radio first came on the air.
It's also just kind of crazy in the sense of what you mentioned is there's more markets covering more places. So if St. Joe didn't have a television market that couldn't cover this for them, fine. You guys would bear some of the responsibility. They have one.
True. But there's no other city does though. So the
Warsaw
other day,
doesn't, right?
So
whatever.
Warsaw, Sedalia, Chillicothe, we're the TV station. People are like, oh well, Lawrence has a TV station. No, they don't.
Not anymore. They used to. They used to. Channel 6, no more.
Oh, that is and so we're
fair enough.
We're kind of ultimately responsible. For better, for worse. Yeah, I mean, and we get messages all the time, we take
sure
the hate. Do you really think that I want to spend my Saturday afternoon standing in front of a green screen for 6 hours talking about a tornado warning up near the Iowa state line? No, but I do because it's my job. That's what I get paid to do. And don't get me wrong, I love storms. I love tracking storms.
Yeah.
It's my thing. But talking by myself or just with my colleague for 6 hours, it gets a little old. We've had
It's starting to turn into Scott
dinner.
Hansen. It's red zone. You guys, who gets the bathroom break?
And who gets the quick dinner break? Had to chow down on a barbecue sandwich in 2 minutes a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we've got Jacob Lanier from Fox 4 joining us in studio. I imagine because whether it's you or others over the years listening and watching, I feel like we enjoy when there's fresh. Trade happens in the NFL, right? During our show, nobody's reacted to it. That's breaking news. I love it. I imagine there's a bit of a rush. Not that you guys want to sensationalize a serious tornado warning, and you want people to be calm and not freak out. I get you guys aren't trying to panic people.
Yeah.
But you get a little rush though when all of a sudden you got a tornado warning to talk about.
Yeah, definitely at first, especially if it's here in the metro. I got kind of a little rush it was 2 weekends ago when we had the 2 a.m. Sunday night tornado warning that included North Kansas City and the Argentina hotel down on the riverfront, and I was like, please don't hit the Argentina soccer hotel.
What? No. This just happened when Argentina. Remember by the hotel.
It was the day they arrived.
Well, you know what? Welcome to the Midwest.
Right. It's tornado sirens. And I don't even think they did anything. Actually, though, I was by myself at 2 a.m. because no one else is there to help me in the middle of the night. And I was like, if you're not from Kansas City, if you're in a hotel by happenstance, maybe you should go to a hallway, a stairwell,
I guess it's so funny. Do you just get called in like a doctor?
No, so we stay. So
you knew it was going to be.
We knew there's a chance, right? Okay. And so anytime there's a chance, one of us is there. Yeah, people are like, oh, did you go back in after? No, I've been there since 3 p.m. I did a 12-hour day, right? So do I willingly want to do that? No, but it's kind of part of the job. And normally we don't have to deal with it because this spring has been record setting.
Why is that? Is there, without getting too nerdy, I guess, is there a reason why this is happening?
So we had a really busy, April was the most tornadoes ever for the Kansas City region. We had 25. And then we've had 75 tornado warnings in the last 3 months.
Jeez.
So it's not just us imagining that it's on TV more.
Easily,
it's on TV more.
It's the most tornado warnings ever.
Makes sense.
And so what's happening is there's the jet stream stuck up in Canada. So these storm systems aren't moving much. And
so it's Canada's fault.
Right. Yeah. We'll blame them.
Yeah.
Play the old Blame Canada song from South Park. Yeah. Like the very few parts we can. The movie.
So the storms have just been kind of meandering in Kansas and Nebraska. And so here from Kansas City, like up to Chicago, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Kansas have had a crazy tornado season.
Yeah,
so
it feels like it.
Any
insight here or what?
No, I don't. Well, we have storm chances on Saturday. Next week looks a severe chance by Tuesday night or Wednesday. So, I mean, we're just going to keep chugging along. So typically April, May, and June are our busiest severe and tornado seasons. So we are praying that in July we finally end this madness.
That would be nice. That would be nice for everybody. Now, are you used to this? Like, you're not from Kansas City, but you've been here for 4 or 5 years.
4.5 years, yeah. So I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Tornadoes there? No.
And not as much.
Not usually, right?
But where I did live for 7 years, I went to college at Mississippi State, and in Mississippi, and then I worked in Mississippi and Alabama after college. And a lot of people may not realize, but down in Mississippi and Alabama, they have a lot of tornadoes. We call that Tornado Alley is out here, right? They call it Dixie Alley down in Mississippi and Alabama.
Okay. Do they have a Tonganoxie split or?
No.
Do they have their version of it?
No, they have the Mississippi River.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a lot of tornadoes. So actually, down in Mississippi, we had a tornado every month of the year. So it was nonstop. So I got my experience.
A December tornado.
I had a Christmas Eve tornado outbreak. Oh, yeah. Wild.
That sounds weird.
Right. And then up here we have our, Christmas Eve blizzard and whatnot. But it's wild down there. Because you're by the Gulf Coast. You got the warm water all the time.
So the weather just gets kind of insane because it just mixes with whatever and does whatever.
Well, then you're worried about hurricanes down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a whole different
I've covered hurricanes. Yeah, my biggest...
Sounds like you've convinced me never to live in Mississippi.
Right, yeah.
I feel like.
For the weather alone.
I wasn't really considering it anyway.
But if people don't like snow or cold, when I moved up here, I said, whoa, this is really cold. I had to get used to this. Sub-zero.
Atlanta, you guys
are. I'm not used to this Midwest stuff. Now I am, but...
I was about to say, after a few years, you probably...
And then it's 90 degrees with a heat index of 105.
All right. So I don't know if you know Jay Binkley. So Bink, he hosts at the station. He's been around for a while. Diehard sports fan. He will text us, sports or non-sports, any hour of the day. And once you start texting, it's a long text thread. He just texted in.
Oh, okay.
And Drew can attest, our producer Drew can attest to this. And this was not your station, so it doesn't matter. A different station in town during the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup. We're in the middle of severe weather coverage as well, and they didn't even go to split screen for a while. So Binkley is saying, can you ask him why it's not? Again, it's Bink. This is not his station. This is a different station. Bink says, "Will you guys utilize split screen? Unlike." A different station, he said. How do you decide when to do the split screen? Like, if there's honestly,
or when the NBA was in a little tiny.
I know.
World Cup match. What happens? What are you guys doing?
Yeah. So it's been a real thing because we've had more tornado warnings than ever before. Right? We've had other stations in town, NBA, Stanley Cup, all these different sporting events. We've actually had several meetings about, what are we going to do? It's a big thing, right?
Yes.
People want to watch, and we're a big, World Cup is big in Kansas City this year. So, the plan is, I feel like unless it's, a confirmed tornado or a tornado warning in the metro, like if it's for one of the further out Missouri counties, we'll do maybe some periodic updates on the air. But are we going to stay 30 minutes straight on covering up soccer? I don't think so. And we have the boxes ready to go. And I've been told that they want me in the little box, and they want soccer in the big box.
Yeah, but the sound on you.
You have to have
the sound.
Well, I did say, if you want me to do some sign language or motions.
But I think that's smart. No offense, put you in the small box and have the soccer match
hear me
on the bigger screen.
Right, and then I was like, well, but and we also again, if people want to watch severe weather coverage, it's on our website for free. Or our mobile apps, so they can watch it there. Although I'll tell you guys, when was it? On Tuesday, Like Joe Laurie and Carly Ritter were on for 6 hours covering like northern Missouri, like literally by the Iowa state line. You know, we get dozens of messages from up there like, thank you for covering the tornadoes up here. We know we're far away from Kansas City. So there are humans that live outside of the metro, and they do appreciate it. But I understand, and I definitely know the weight of, you know, because how else are bars and every establishment in the city going to show soccer? It's like, it's literally our air. And so I don't want to take that experience away from everyone in the city.
I got to imagine, I'm going to guess that he gets a lot of what we get. So like on, you know, because we're a sports radio station, everyone's a big sports fan, they all got radio figured out. Mm-hmm. They all got you should talk about this or do this part of the job or the sports part. How often do you get the I know the weather better than you. I don't understand what you're doing here.
You guys are never accurate.
Oh yeah, we get the never accurate all the time.
Yeah, that's the compliment.
We get the you guys don't know what you're talking about. We're like, oh well, you know, I saw the tornado before you talked about. You know, it's like okay, you know, but no. So funny enough, you know, because we talked about accuracy, we actually track our accuracy at Fox.
Here we go. Here
you go. Yeah,
are you most accurate?
This is the sermon. We are most accurate.
There you go.
And so we verify our temperatures and our cloudiness and our rain every day. And for the last year, our accuracy is 93%.
Okay.
Pretty good. That's better than most MLB umpires.
That's an A.
Could you imagine if we tracked which sports take we were right on?
Oh, boy.
Would we be the station's most accurate show?
Your most accurate sports take station. It just doesn't work
like
that
a
way.
C?
Yeah.
Well, like shows like First Take would be at like 10%. I think at least we'd be at like 60-70%.
Yeah. We'd be passing.
Passing grade.
We'd be passing.
Well, how do you determine accuracy? If we talk about something but just end up predicting wrong, is that being inaccurate?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a hot take percentage. Mm. That would be the.
And what's your time frame?
We only give you 15% hot takes. It's only when the show suggests eating spaghetti at the K or staying up to a bar until 5 a.m. We were talking about doing a show, Jacob, until 5 a.m., 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
With the bars open.
With the bars open.
You know?
We'll do after hours, and then we'll just hit up like a breakfast spot after. You know?
There you go. Yeah, that go straight into brunch and mimosas. Why not?
The Jay Southland Tow Service text line is open, 913-586-7965. This is actually perfect that we have Jacob on because this text, you guys are going to find out. I know for a fact you're a Royals fan, right?
Yeah.
I know you go to Royals games. Somebody says they don't like sports. Weathermen hate sports. That's not true.
Oh, are you kidding? Literally yesterday, we had the Royals game on after the delay. We have the Royals game on in the weather office every day. Joe and I love to watch the Royals. So yeah, no, we love sports.
Giving you no credit. They think because weather, you know what, like in the hierarchy of the station, I think sports guys think that they're the bottom of the rung. And talking to guys like Rob Cup, they're always getting bumped for weather. There's a hierarchy problem, you know?
Yes,
sports guys are always getting bumped for weather. You know, they can't hold on to their spot. I remember Harold Kuntz. What was the delay that he had? He was doing the show at like 4 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that was after. Was that a World Series game?
Maybe. That was a different sport that got him.
It was the World Series. Went to like 15 or 16 innings.
Went to 16 innings, and then we had to do an hour newscast, and then they had to do the sports show afterwards. That was what? He was on at 3 a.m. He saw the morning crew arrive at the station.
At that point, I wanted to do, you just punt it. You just punt it. 3 a.m. sports? Like, who, honestly, who's
I'm
watching?
guessing if somebody sponsors it, you got to do it.
Fair
Otherwise, I guess you would punt it. I mean, I don't think Harold was just staying around if he didn't have to, right?
Well, and you know, there's a whole like chain of command, you know, that goes up. You know, like someone creates the schedule, and like, you know, we're a local Fox affiliate, so Fox Baseball, you know, that's Fox National. They can do whatever they want, you know, and we just have to respond to it.
Take it because you're the Fox affiliate, not
right. Yeah.
Fox.
So like, you know, the other day, like, you know, they'll either do like one segment after you know, baseball game, or they'll do like an hour of post game coverage, just whatever they feel like. And so we're just kind of, you know, twiddling our thumbs.
Being an affiliate, I mean, same thing with the World Cup. I'm guessing they dictate a lot of what you guys can really do.
They tell us
like
what to do.
World Cup, they're paying billions of dollars for the World Cup. Like they get priority.
Yeah.
It better be a tornado warning. You know what I mean? Like it.
And, you know, I mean, the World Cup, you know, big sponsorship opportunity, the amount of advertisements that have been sold locally, nationally, you know, and like you don't want to cover that up and lose money. So.
No, I mean, they spend a lot of money to get a once every 4-year event.
And that's the thing, too. People are like, oh, you know, it's for clicks and money grab when they're doing this wall-to-wall tornado coverage. We make no money when we're doing tornado coverage because there's no commercials.
Yeah.
You
Harold,
know?
by the way, said it was 3:07 a.m.
There you go.
He said it was after a Chiefs Monday night game.
Oh.
What burned away? Why do you have to stay so late?
Monday night
game. Oh, that went late then.
What Monday night game was that?
Was it like quadruple overtime?
Was there a delay?
They don't even do that for a Monday night game. There must have been a delay. There was a weather delay for one of the Chiefs Monday night games. Remember, there was like a storm or something.
This year?
And they went on that late?
Or last year? Was it that one? Harold will tell us.
He'll text in.
He was the person who was laying on the floor when the broadcast started.
Which went viral.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Up next, we're going to talk some more with Jacob Lanier of Fox 4. We'll talk some Royals baseball, maybe work in some Chiefs as well. It's a Fan Club Friday right here on Cody and Gold.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sun Cruiser is the official ready-to-drink canned cocktail of the U.S. Open and U.S. Women's Open. We're excited to bring our vodka iced teas and lemonades to golfers and drinkers everywhere, and support these two prestigious championships and their fans with a refreshing Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Crisp, clean, and no carbonation for the perfect sipper on the course. Join us for the U.S. Open watch party with special giveaways on June 18th and 19th at Minsky's locations. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for details. Please drink responsibly.
Whether you're commuting to work or heading out for a fast coffee break, getting an auto insurance quote is just a tap away. With AAA, you're always connected, so you can focus on the road ahead. Rest easy knowing AAA's got you covered, no matter where life takes you. AAA, we're always with you. To start your quote, visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
When you're at work, you never know when you'll be interrupted. But with the Dell Pro, powered by Intel Core Ultra with vPro, no matter what distracts you, your laptop won't. It's battery optimized for the way you work with built-in intelligence that quiets distractions when you need to focus. Your laptop will help keep you locked in, even when it's bring your dog to work day. Built for those who stay in the flow. The Dell Pro, built for you. Dell.com/Dell-Pro.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the...
We're at Jay Rieger and Co. We've got Jacob Lanier of Fox 4 hanging out with us. Don't forget, though, tonight you can join 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland. With the drive starting at 2 o'clock, they're going to be broadcasting live here in about a half hour. Kickoff in small box.
The people want me in the little box. They don't want to see me.
But I think
they want to watch the match.
Yeah, right.
You know
the Royals. I know you've been out to a couple Royals games. I saw. Yeah. I think on your social media. What do you make of this? Disappointing season, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's just kind of the same. This is kind of the feeling I had last season. It's like you just hope it's gonna change or turn around. I don't know, and I'm not a sports expert, but it's like at some point, what is something going to change? I don't know, leadership, organization wise, team wise.
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussion.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but yeah, I feel like you can't just keep repeating this, especially when we made it to the wild card round 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2024.
Yeah, 24.
Got past the wild card round. Actually made it to the divisional.
That's true.
Right?
Lost the Yankees.
Because they won the wild card series and then lost the Yankees
Orioles.
In the divisional series.
And you got the momentum for the stadium change coming downtown. It's like you need to improve. And
when you got one of the
just be at the last.
Baseball's best players.
I know, right?
So maybe don't let that go to waste.
And sure, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys will know. I saw there's no rumors or he's not going to go anywhere, is he?
Well, he has years before he could even opt out. So you don't have to pretend he's going anywhere for at least 3 to 4 years before it even be
the conversation
in the cards.
Yeah,
but
the conversation with that in the next couple of years is going to be more. People don't want to hear it, but it'll be whether or not they should trade somebody before they opt out.
If it's not coming around,
which will be a tough conversation for people.
No, I won't want to
in a couple of years.
No, thank you. I want Bobby Jr. to stay here, which goes
back
to the same thing. They've got to
Yeah.
find a way to win.
Yep.
And so, this season, it's every time it feels like maybe they can get a little something going, right? Just when they start playing just well enough where you're okay, play this well, but a little bit longer. Then they lose 2 games in a row, and you're okay, now you're 5-4 in June. And while there's nothing wrong with that, it's got to be way better than that at the end of the month, and then way better than that in July. And then you could settle into just playing okay baseball. And the problem is they put themselves so far behind. I mean, they're 28-41 now, 13 games under, and they had a chance to win this series and got the first game of this series and then lost 2 games, 1 in extras that they easily could have won, and then yesterday, another game they could have won. It just all feels the same, I guess, is the point. You've been around a lot. Do you like the K versus... I'm looking forward to downtown baseball.
Yeah,
as someone who's been around, you went into Atlanta. Do you have you been to the Battery and stuff?
I have, yeah. So, the new Truist Park down, I guess it's not new anymore. It's been over a decade.
Has it really been 10 years already?
I think so.
Holy
Is it
cow.
15?
Been around a long
That's
time.
crazy to think about. Okay.
Which I think has been the standard ballpark experience that all these teams.
If you're building in the
included.
suburbs and doing all those things, people do really love the Battery.
Right. So, and I think they're trying to do that downtown at Crown Center as well. Kind of have the
district
real estate experience for the owners, and the restaurants, the bars, the hotels, those options, even apartments. I love it. I love the Battery. My family actually lives super close there. So, we have a lot of tickets. So actually I'm going to the Braves game next week. So I'm excited.
Nice. You're going back home.
Yeah. My dad's a big Braves fan. So we always try to match up. And, the Royals opened at the Braves. So I got to go to the season opener.
Oh, so you
year.
saw Carlos Estevez attempt to close out a baseball game.
Yes. No bueno.
No. No.
So it's fun. I think I'm really excited about downtown baseball. I live in the city, so I'm hoping to ride the streetcar to ball games in 4 years. But
I'm guessing by then, and they continue to talk streetcar expansion. I'm assuming because people are using it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple math. Is the reason why they're considering doing more of it is because it's being used. That line outside the current game when it first got to Riverfront, but that's a bad thing. That makes people discourage people.
They
want
to have more.
Work.
I'm assuming that'll get corrected because they needed to have more streetcars running. The streetcar for the current will be a huge thing though because anybody that's tried to go to current games, I used to have season tickets. The parking
sucks.
was very limited, and even if you could buy a parking pass, people were scalping the parking pass because there were only a few available. So some of the parking passes were selling for $130. It was pretty crazy. Now the streetcar hopefully will alleviate some of that.
Yeah.
The next time you go to a current game, do you think you'll park and ride down?
I would like to try it. I told you, and it's mainly because I live out south. I have not, even though I've not been on the streetcar. I haven't had a use for it. No, seriously, I'm not anti-streetcar or
it's
anything.
Just because you have to drive to the plaza and then
for me,
you might as well park on site.
For me, it hasn't been beneficial. Now, as the route continues to expand, maybe now I park at the plaza and I take the streetcar all the way through. But yeah, it's been. Look, and I took the World Cup public transportation bus to the Fan Fest yesterday. I'm not anti-public transportation by any means, but I certainly haven't had a use for the streetcar personally. Because if I live downtown, then yes, obviously I would take it quite a bit.
I think even Harold said it was his first time on the streetcar a couple days ago coming.
It just depends on it. And Harold lives closer to my neck of the woods, but it's the more it expands, the more people will use it as a primary transport. But also it's currently going to a developing area in the riverfront, between Morton and the Current and all their development, Current Landing and all that stuff. And then, of course, one of the regular Kansas City gathering points up to this point in the plaza.
Have you been to Morton? He just brought it up.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Have you guys been?
I haven't yet. We got invited out for the the sound check one that everyone did. And then
I would have been there tonight.
Tonight, Stone Temple Pilots, our
nice.
station had some tickets available to us, but the World Cup watch parties tonight.
Oh yeah,
and all that
okay.
other
By the way,
stuff.
not even kidding.
bad,
I'm not even kidding. If somebody wants to go to the concert tonight, send me a DM on Twitter at Alex Gold.
Wait, you're sitting on seats?
Yeah, I can't go.
Oh,
nice.
How many seats you sitting on? 2?
4?
Whoa. Oh, look at you!
Whoa,
yeah.
Alex loaded. Somebody wants to go to Morton.
Yeah, I'm serious.
I will say,
Somebody wants to go.
prepare.
Let me know. I'll send the tickets. I'm not even kidding. First person.
Is it too much to ask to make just one of these venues have somewhat reasonable drink or food prices? They'd get more out of me.
Yeah.
I go to Morton and I got to pay $30 for one margarita.
That's just the way it goes.
Then I'm only getting one drink.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, you made them whatever price different. I might get a couple.
I'll tell you what
You
is
might
the same
squeeze a
price
few
as the
more out of me.
restaurant. If you get a Joe's Z-Man out at the K, it's the same price as it is at the gas station.
That's great.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't realize
At
that.
FanFest,
I do
burger
love
and
a-
fry.
I do like a Z-Man.
Burger and fry at FanFest was $25.
Oh yeah. No, thanks.
It's definitely not cheap.
It's astronomical. It's crazy. I'm asking to, I get it. I got to pay the price. I just don't want it to be extortionate. I'm just looking for
And that's one thing too. Actually, just speaking of Atlanta sports down there, Arthur Blank, with the Falcons, which
yes,
that Super Bowl against the Patriots was my end of Atlanta.
Wait, are you a
sports
Falcons fan?
I was.
You was.
Oh, I was.
28-3 ended you?
Yes, it absolutely did.
Yeah,
so
wow. Okay.
My friends hold it over me because at halftime of that Super Bowl, I was planning my trip home. I was in college at the time. I was planning my trip home to the parade. All the,
You're like, I'm going to go see my squad.
Yeah, hopes and dreams crushed. I said, okay, never again.
You were done.
Yeah, I was done.
Wow.
And so
in
now
all the
I'm part of
comparisons-
Chiefs Kingdom, which I love way more. So.
Okay, well they're winning.
Right, yeah.
But you
Easy to join.
you mentioned it, Atlanta Falcons 28-3. Obviously, that's the comp that people have been giving this week. I don't know if you follow the NBA much. We don't have to get too deep into it, but the Knicks Spurs game, the Spurs just had this 30-point collapse the other night, and everybody was saying, "Is that the basketball equivalent to your Falcons?"
I said not quite because it
Close
wasn't
to
like
it.
a game 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think it's got to have like more juice
has to have
versus
the
like
win-
it was
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. And I understand it's the final, so it's still the championship round.
It has to
But
be
it's
the
just
last
hard because
game.
like a single game.
I agree.
Yeah. I just don't feel like it's quite the same.
Yeah, not
I
quite.
still haven't done the math on that. Have you gone back and watched the game? How the hell did that happen? How did they blow that lead? Like, this is not to put salt in the wound. You could probably walk me through it better. It's like I haven't gone back and thought about that game other than we know the score, but it's like sometimes
Not
ones
pretty.
like that you can't figure out the math on. How did you even allow this to happen?
It just collapses.
Because it ended up being 34-28. Like the Falcons never scored again. Is that right?
I don't think they ever did.
You know, you mentioned that you
defense collapse.
You gave up your fandom because of the 28-3. I think this is actually a perfect time, Cody. Don't you think, to try to have him convince Drew? Why suffer
give
more
up on
with
Cincinnati,
Drew's
Drew.
a Cincinnati Bengals fan.
Okay.
Why put
They've
yourself?
hurt you enough.
He stopped rooting for the Falcons after the 28-3.
Yeah.
Why do you keep putting yourself through the misery of Cincinnati Bengals football? You should go ahead and do what he did and go ahead and just be done with that franchise.
It's crazy because, believe it or not, I've gotten so used to it. I think I've gotten so used to the heartbreak or the
You're
devastation.
dead inside?
that
What a
I'm-
terrible way to live.
That's the way I'm an Indiana Pacers fan, obviously, because I'm from Indy. They've never won an NBA Finals. Last year was
You root for
heartbreaking
anybody who's
because
won a
Hallie
championship?
tore his ACL or
You
tore
went
his
to
Achilles.
You went to Butler. They lost on a last-second shot.
Yeah,
Wisconsin ever win anything?
Wisconsin has never won a title. Well, they have technically back in like 1930. They made one and lost to Duke, to Specs Duke Blue Devils. So yeah, it's been a year. It's been a lifetime of losing, I suppose. If you were talking about my sports teams,
jeez,
it's tough out here in these
Yikes.
streets. But I'm hopeful.
Look, I get it. In Kansas
Hope
City,
is dangerous.
The
Yes,
thing
it
about
is. You're
Kansas
right
City
about
is,
that, Jacob. You're right.
if you were a Kansas City sports fan who cheered for Missouri or K-State, it was pretty hard. If you were a Royals and Chiefs fan and had Kansas, at least you had Kansas because like everybody had kind of like a local college allegiance for a while. But being a Royals and Chiefs fans from like 1990 to 2010 wasn't exactly a thrill ride.
Yeah.
You'd had 20 years of some really bad baseball and some good football, some bad football, like a weird mix. Your claim to fame at that point was Joe Montana came here for a little bit and we almost had a shot. Up until that point, it was a lot of like either bad football or like Trent Green to get you part of the way, but you knew probably wasn't going to get you all the way there. And so I just like Falcons, like that's the kind of game that feels like would break you.
Yeah,
I guess in a lot of ways.
I think it.
Are you a Hawks fan too?
No, I was not.
Is anybody? You know, really in this world?
No, I was never. And actually, I was a Thrashers fan when I was a kid. That was the old Atlanta hockey team that left.
And they might get a team
They
again. I
abandoned
think
us.
people were talking about getting a team again.
Or are they going to be part of the expansion?
Why would they get a team a third time? Can I ask?
Well, they shouldn't.
They've lost an NHL team 2 times. Can Kansas City not get one? I think we do a better job holding
I'd
on.
like
to it.
one.
It'd be
Yeah.
awesome. If we
I
had a
know
hockey
why
team.
Atlanta gets it is because it's a top 5 market or whatever size, but still, it's stupid.
Too big for me. I don't know if I
Do you
want
like?
to go back.
Obviously, I don't put. Do you want to stay in Kansas City for a while now?
Yeah, I like it here.
Yeah.
You like it better
It's a cool
than
spot.
Atlanta? Got it. Better than the hometown. Nah. It's the city size. I will say I did not enjoy driving in Atlanta. at any point in my life.
It's like 2 hours to go anywhere. It's like, I can get from, Olathe to the Northland within an hour,
Yeah. Nowhere in this city is more than 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
It's easy.
Living in Houston, that's real traffic.
Oh, yeah.
That's real traffic.
Yep.
That's miserable.
I thought I was going like 90 the entire time I drove in Atlanta when there was no traffic, and I felt like people were mad I was driving that slow.
Ooh, yikes. Yeah. It's
Genuine.
And the amount
it
of.
was like I felt like I was standing still and I was going like 90 miles an hour.
Well, and they have, like the 30-lane interstate through downtown Atlanta. It's like, do we need more lanes? It's like, how many can we add?
Good times though.
Yeah.
Like I've been through in Atlanta a couple of times over the years. I don't mind it, but yeah, it's not one of those cities I choose to live in, I guess, either, depending on what the circumstances is. But they've got all the pro sports teams, which you and I care about, Gold.
Although this is a desirable sports market, I've got to
great
say,
sports town.
I
It's a
mean,
great sports town.
everyone wants to work here.
I would think Chiefs, Royals, new
Yeah.
downtown stadium, new Legends
Oh, yeah.
Stadium. There's going to be plenty of drawing point. We just need one more. We just need NHL or NBA.
How many?
As I said, we got to get our stadium. I think we finally did. Got to get the stadium stuff figured out for the Chiefs and Royals, and we finally have before we worry about trying to get another franchise in town. I just saw that the KC Current are now going to be trying to expand their stadium to 18,000 seats. I saw the mayor was pitching that yesterday. So the Current already only a couple years open. They're trying to expand their stadium.
Well, they've had one. They probably want other events, not just their matches, but their matches have done really well.
Yeah, I think the Women's World Cup is the big driver there, right? And is that 29?
Coming up. Yeah, it's coming up in a few years after the Men's World Cup, and so we'll see how involved the KC Current are with that. Now, that's not going to be in Kansas City, I don't believe, but I don't know if they've announced
is that part
yet?
of it? I don't know. Or are they doing for a bid maybe for the 33 one?
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. We got Jacob Lanier from Fox 4 hanging out with us. All right, a couple non-sports stuff. We have random questions of the day we do on the show around 12:40 or so. And so these are random things and debates that we get in. Sometimes they lead to just dumb arguments on the show, okay? So one a couple days ago was about cruise control. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you use cruise control? And if so, how often? Do you use it on the highway or the side streets? Because Cody...
Side streets.
Thank you. So Cody uses it on side streets.
I use it anywhere.
He uses it on the side street.
It's safe everywhere.
To me,
What
it's
side street are you driving on?
It should be highway only.
I sound like using it in school zones to make sure I don't speed.
He'll go on a 35.
It's not a bad
and
use
set
for it.
I think that's crazy.
Anything over 20, he'll let you click it.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know there was a minimum.
There is a minimum.
You cruise at 10 miles an hour.
They won't let you cruise at 10.
Well,
they
I've
got to
never
draw a line
tried it
somewhere.
below like 55 or something, so I guess I
Okay,
wouldn't
so
know.
you don't use it on any side street. How often do you use it on the highway? Almost never?
Usually only if I'm kind of leaving the metro, I would say. Like if I'm going on a road trip. Like my daily commute, I never use it really on the highway.
Drew said he's better than the machine. He says he can drive more fuel efficiently.
As the machine.
Yeah, this was a hell of a
cruise
take.
control.
Jake, this was
as good as the machine.
This was a hell of a take from Drew. Go ahead and say it again, what you said to us earlier in the week.
So we looked it up. With cruise control, you can save about 7 to 14 miles per gallon over the course of time.
Yes.
Okay.
On a road trip,
He gets that.
I have saved between 7 to 10 miles per gallon just based on I don't use cruise control at all. I'll drive back home to Indy 7.5 hours. I don't use cruise control.
This feels like one of those things I don't even care to track. That's the thing that used to be like,
I
know I got 7 gallons more. I'm like, I don't know. I don't
try to track it either, Cody. I just know that I can get from here from Kansas City to Indianapolis. I fill up a tank in Kansas City. I don't have to stop.
Yeah,
Again,
but do you track it here? Because otherwise, maybe it's just what your car's getting.
Your car obviously gets better mileage on the highway. We know this.
Yeah, correct.
But that is nothing. But that's not because you're not using cruise control.
Right.
But I'm saying if you were to take two people, myself and somebody else, and have them not use cruise control at all, I think I would get better gas mileage.
I don't think so.
Than the person who was I'm saying
I'm desperate to try this to
nobody uses
reinvent
cruise control.
Mythbusters.
If it was me, if you in the Mustang.
Oh, your argument is that you're a better driver without cruise control than another person without cruise control.
I'm better at saving gas.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, well that's a different.
It's slightly less good of a brag. But it's also like I think you'd be
on cruise control. That's crazy. I'm as good as somebody. On cruise
I want you to make 2 different drives to Indy.
Yeah.
But same direction, right? Because we understand elevation and everything else can change. I just want you to make the next 2 drives you make to Indy. I want you to use cruise control one way and not use the other. I will say the single thing though that Alex pointed out the last time that I think is the offense of this is like you get bothered when I use cruise control, like in their side seat. I hate when I'm just trying to take my road trip to Colorado. And I gotta speed up to pass your ass, slow down because you're passing me. All of a sudden, I'm like, hey, I've been driving the same speed this whole time.
Oh,
what the hell's your problem?
You're on
Why
cruise
are you
control.
going up ahead of me, back below me?
Yes.
I'm just like trying to drive.
You're right.
And we could all be going the same speed.
I do keep
and I
in
don't have to
mind-
pass you and do all this nonsense.
I keep that in mind.
Let's just keep the line moving.
If I have cruise set at 78 and I passed you, you should not pass me 3 minutes later.
That's
something's wrong. Something's wrong there.
We should not be playing ping pong on the highway.
That's the worst.
It really is the
fair.
worst. I think it's because sometimes they get their feelings hurt. I'm in cruise control and I pass them and they're like, wait a second. I can't be going slower than that guy. And you're like,
Somebody's saying the Mythbusters
and then they
did
forget
this.
about it and they're not paying attention.
Somebody said the Mythbusters did this.
Oh, did they?
And the difference was insignificant. That's what.
I mean, but there's
when your arrival time or your travel time?
I don't know. Somebody just said on the text line that Mythbusters did the experiment, and the difference was maybe it's the miles per gallon, I suppose.
Cruise control versus not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you were driving in the mountains, I would buy your theory that cruise control is worse because. But if you're just going on I-70 for 6 hours, cruise control, you're going to get better gas mileage. I mean, you're not going up hills.
Right. I will say that I will say the sciatic nerve in my leg is a little bit more sore probably than somebody who uses cruise control.
That's a reason to use cruise.
Which makes complete sense.
Yeah, I mean, your foot's going to be sore. Yeah, it's going to be miserable.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So these are the dumb conversations.
This is like that Shaq. This is like the inside the NBA filling up gas argument that they had that went viral.
Oh, when Shaq was saying that. He said, I always fill up when it only costs me $50 or whatever. And it never feels like he
money or something, which is funny.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a real thing.
Do you not stop and start enough on the side streets to how long are you on cruise?
You know what
like
it
2
is?
seconds?
I'll say a lot of it is just because, and it's not every side street. It's not all the time, right?
Okay.
But in like school zones, for sure. But let's just say I'm going down like a road in which I know there's no stoplight for a while and the speed limit's 40. And I'm like, my problem is like occasionally it's like if I'm not, if you're just kind of driving, sometimes you're like, I'm going a little fast here. And I'll click it. I'll just be like, I better, time to check myself a little bit here. I'm not trying to like fly. I'm not trying to go slow. I'm not below the speed limit. But I'm also not trying to, I'm not trying to
keep it close.
Yeah. I'm trying to be in the range.
Text line's asking who on the show right now is more likely to get involved in road rage.
That's not me. I just don't care enough. I think
it's not.
Really
it's
hard
probably
before
not you
honking at
again.
somebody.
You're on cruise control on a
Although both
side
of us have been
street.
threatened with a gun in a different road rage incident. So
what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
Alex had
wild.
a guy flash a gun. I had a guy after I did like this at a stoplight, like, "Hey, can you go?" I didn't even honk. I just went like I moved my arm, and when I parked because we ended up at the same gas station, he said, "You're lucky I don't have my gun." I was like, "Okay, I guess."
Yeah, I don't think Cody's the answer. I'll give you that. I don't think it's probably me or Drew. I don't know. I don't know you well enough to see what your driving is
I'll
like.
honk if you're sitting there for more than 3 seconds at a green light, though.
But that doesn't mean you're. I think
no, it's just
out of the
stupidity
three
of
of
other
me, you and
drivers.
Drew, it's you.
You think?
Yeah, Drew's not. He's not confrontational.
I'm an aggressive driver, but doesn't mean I'm going around.
I'm not saying you're likely. I'm just saying of the three of us, you're the most.
I cannot
likely.
tell you the last time I honked my horn. Dead serious.
And
If you're just sitting at a green light for a couple seconds, like
you just let it happen.
You just wait.
I just take the L and just let it
I'll
happen.
honk. I mean, I'm an aggressive driver, but I'm not over here trying to start a fight with somebody.
Yeah, but I also think that if somebody like flipped you off, you might flip them off back.
Oh, absolutely.
Thus engage in rage.
Absolutely.
And I won't. I'm just like, that guy's a
Yeah.
lunatic. I'm just going to move on with him. I didn't even punch the guy back who punched me in the face walking down the street. I'm not trying to like.
No, you're
start
right. If
things with
somebody-
crazy
You've
people.
encountered a lot of violence out.
Yes, man.
You're right.
I was just walking down the street. A guy punched me right in the face. Downtown. I was just walking downtown. And 10 a.m. Not even like a time to get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's random.
Not even
That's
like
not good.
No, I just left. I think I can't remember exactly what he was like. What'd you say, bitch? I was like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say it. I was like, all right, have a nice day. And I just left. Like, okay, you're crazy.
I haven't had any incidents in a while when it comes to that. We're on a good streak.
Good sugar, not being threatened.
Not being threatened. No
not being
guns.
held.
No,
you were
no-
held at gunpoint
Yeah,
one
that
time,
happened
so
in
that's
Houston.
completely different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was
Yikes.
fun. That was a fun one.
Any violence in your past,
No,
Jacob?
I
Any bad moments?
No, I just get the verbal assaults via, like the DMs and messages and emails for weather coverage. They just hate on me.
I'm glad, I think, in TV, you guys don't have a live text line like that.
That's what I was just saying. I was like, I don't want people to live text or comment on our feed or our
That's
coverage.
too much. Emailing stuff is weak.
Oh.
It feels like the least threatening thing. Dear Jacob. And he's just like on an email. You're like, that feels so far removed.
A lot of times you just have to think the person that's taking the time to do that. It's like, okay, all right, I don't.
They probably need.
Don't need to respond.
Do you have a favorite thing you've been insulted with?
Oh, we actually got a handwritten letter. Yes, we got a handwritten letter, and it
Bill Snyder.
It attacked the entire weather team.
The whole crew?
It was like an essay for a school project, and like every paragraph was addressing a different meteorologist and their faults. And I was like,
What?
whoa! So we have it hanging in the weather office.
Love it.
Yeah, I forget.